Well, hey there, everybody. Good evening. Hope you're having a great day. And I'm glad to be on the stream with you today. Hope your day's been good. Hope you had a great weekend. And I know I had some questions about yesterday. I was going to do a stream yesterday, and I just am trying to hold true to my commitment of honoring the Sabbath and not doing work on one day. And so I felt conviction in my heart, and I canceled the stream yesterday in case you're wondering what happened, because I did have a stream up and then I took it down, and that is what happened to me. The reason I was going to do a stream is because we have our retreat this weekend for those people who wanted to be a part of that. And I was just nervous about not being able to stream enough, including when we're having those retreat times. And so that's what happened with that. But I'm excited and glad that you're here today. I think we're going to have a great stream. I want to talk about the latest and just how people are processing what's going on with the Kiely Rodni case right now. And somebody earlier was like, there is nothing new. You need to quit. And I'm like, well, News Nation did an article last week that said Nevada County Sheriff's Office is hoping to give an update this week. So I definitely have my eyes and ears open for any of those new updates that are coming out. But not just that, there's always new discoveries. Like everybody that's taking a deep look at this case, there's new discoveries along the way. And so I want to make sure that we talk about this. One of those new discoveries involved Adventures with Purpose, saying that law enforcement has in fact confirmed the identity of who it was that was with the tow truck driver on the video. And so it's just further consideration to me that they have confirmed that individual actually was Kiely Rodni and someone else, or else someone who looks very similar to Kiely Rodni, or else they wouldn't have came out and said that in their videos. And so I want to talk about that and play the clip for you where they say that. There's some other things that I want to mention and talk about involving the case as well as hear your feedback and hear what you have to say about it and talk through it together. And so just interested in doing that with you. And then I want to get into the Jalissa Fuentes case a little bit today as well and sort of talk through maybe some of the talking points there. And if there's anything that you guys have to say, I'd love to hear your feedback on it as well. And thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Please hit the like button if you don't mind. That's one way that you can help us shoot us out into the YouTube algorithm. There's Amy, our super sticker train conductor. Amy, so glad to have you. Thank you for starting the super sticker train. If anybody wants to hop aboard that, feel free to hop aboard. It's always fun to start our stream with super stickers, and it's just a way to encourage everyone on the stream. And by the way, I wanted to share with you guys, because we're preparing for the next month of benevolence giving, just in the way that YouTube sort of works. And so I just wanted to give you guys an update of where some of that benevolence funds went this past month. And because I know people ask that and have those questions, and I've been very protective of that kind of information for a variety of reasons. And one of the reasons, because I don't want people who's requesting benevolence from us to feel like we're going to out their personal situation. And so we don't do that, obviously. But I felt more comfortable about sharing a little bit about their story. And by the way, people have been asking me for months, like, hey, you just need to share the kinds of stuff that you're doing with people. And I've been just like, I don't have to defend myself, but also, and I don't feel like this is being defensive by sharing this. I feel like this is celebrating your generosity. So if you're brand new here, when you give in super chats and sow seeds into what we do here, a portion of that goes into what we call our benevolence fund. And so we help people in a variety of needs. And we've been doing that since the very beginning of this channel, to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. So let me read. I put this on my community tab. I'll read it to you. It says, here's an update of what some of our benevolence funds went to this month. We will not say the names of people to protect them, but they are welcome to comment if it was them. This past month, we supported a medical mission trip in a third world country by partnering with a local tribe and their leaders. Hundreds of lives were impacted because of the funds we were able to donate. We purchased life-saving drugs for a member of the Feller fam who was in a bad spot financially because their illness prevented them from working. We paid a portion of someone's rent so they would not be evicted. We bought gas and paid bills for someone whose resources have been tied up in an unfortunate situation beyond their control. We provided dozens of counseling sessions. We sewed $1,000 into our ministry partners that are making a difference locally and globally. So thank you for supporting what we do here. I hope each month it grows. This is a pretty hefty list in 1 month that we're able to do from all of us doing together what we cannot do alone. But I hope that what we're able to do on here grows. The Benevolence Committee is a group of people from the Feller fam who meet independently of me to sort through the lengthy number of requests we get each month. They have full discretion on how to use the funds given to them from what we earn on YouTube. It's a certain percentage each month. Since the start of this YouTube channel less than a year ago, we have given away tens of thousands of dollars to people in our community. Due to the volume of requests, we are unable to help everyone, but hope each month we will be able to help more. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. That way, whenever you give super chats and super stickers and support this ministry, some of what it's going towards. And to me, those are things I think we need to get behind and celebrate. It's like when people get upset and frustrated with us, it boggles my mind more probably than anybody else's, because I'm like, I have like, really? If you knew, like, literally people have sent messages and like, you literally saved my life because of the way that you helped us. And so I have a conviction around those things, and I believe in what we're doing. And so that's when I was meeting with the Benevolence Committee a couple weeks ago, it was just like, I just feel it in my heart. Like, I feel convicted about not raising funds for what I know we're doing here. The Lord's given us a platform. I personally can't fund every request out of my own pocket. I wish I could, but we can take the money that we use together on super chats and super stickers and things like that to support the broader work that I feel like is going on with us. So I feel strongly that we need to continue doing what we're doing. I feel strongly that it's okay to say it's good to send super chats and super stickers because I have good knowledge of how it's impacting people's lives. So thank you, Hannah, for that super sticker. I appreciate you. You too, Patty. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Lily says it's good to know it's important to understand your donations. Yeah, and I see that, but in the other side of it too, Lily Shaw, that from my perspective, it's like there's not any other channel on YouTube that has to tell what they're doing with their money. Those people are buying steak dinners and who else, who knows what else with their resources. And nobody ever, people are like, more money the better. But the fact that we say I'm a Christian or whatever, it's just like, now I have to like reveal everything to everybody just because I say that I'm a believer and I pray for people that want to support what we're doing. It just doesn't make sense to me. But here's a list of what we did this past month. So there you go. So hopefully that encourages you. It encourages me. It encouraged me to look and see what we did. I was like, wow, we actually did a lot more than I realized, and we've been doing a lot more than I've realized since the very beginning of this channel. Paris Forever says, if this is a true crime channel, talk about true crime. Well, it's not really a true crime channel. And we're a community of contributors, not content consumers. And so if you're looking for a channel where you can just come and listen to somebody talk about whatever information you want and then leave, then do that. But if you want to be a part of a community of other people who are doing together what we cannot do alone and contributing to a greater cause together, then this is what that is. I say it almost every single stream. Like, we are gathered here today, not because I want you to come and just hear the latest and greatest headlines and news that's going on. We are gathered here today because we're building a community. It's why we don't get so caught up in numbers and views and things like that. You guys very rarely hear me talking about those things because I care much more about the growth of our community than I do about having a bunch of views on a video. Like, if we have 10,000 people watching live, like we did during the Gabby Petito case, but 3 months later, they're not with us, that goes against our purpose, our cause, and our mission. So our purpose and our cause and our mission is to actually build a community of people. and you're invited to be a part of that. We're called the Feller Fam. We have faith base that is very strongly emphasized on Friday nights, where we take a whole night out to talk about our faith. And that's the community we're building. And so I would not consider us a true crime channel. I would consider us a current events channel that does talk about missing persons cases. And if you're interested in being a part of a community, you're in the right spot. If you're interested in consuming content, you need to go to News Nation, I guess. Hey, Joan, you said glorious praise, Tyler, for all that we have done. Exactly. It's doing together what we cannot do alone. And so thank you, Joan. By the way, if you guys need to request benevolence, if you send me an email or a Facebook message, I'm not in a position. I get hundreds of emails every day. I'm not in a position to respond to those. We have a request form, tylerfell.com/request. You can fill that out, and that goes directly to our benevolence committee, and they process through all of those. They typically meet at the end of the month. Somebody checks those messages and those forms about once a month or once a week from the way that I think I understand. So, hey, Dan and Marcy, you said we love you and trust you, Tyler. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting what we're doing here too, and just sowing seeds into it. And I believe in what we're doing too, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Now, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for those of you that hopped on the super sticker train or whatever, super chat train from the beginning. Really helpful when you do that. Helps get us off on the right foot. Helps shoot us into the YouTube algorithm, which is a great place for us to be, especially when there's so many contradictory evidence and noise going on there. I wanted to read this article that I found for you guys. It's out of a local sort of publication out of Truckee. It's called Moonshine Inc., and this was written by Juliana Demarest. It's just a local's perspective. And so I thought I would share with you a local's perspective. It says, in early August, our close-knit Truckee North Tahoe community was rocked like never before when 16-year-old Kiely Rodni went missing from a party near the Prosser family campground. Truckee is a big little town in which everyone is connected. If you did not know Kiely personally, it's practically a given you know someone who did. There are a lot of emotions running through the community right now, and we at Moonshine feel the pain too. It wasn't long before the news of Kiely's disappearance spread across the nation and even as far as the United Kingdom, with flashy headlines and social media posts sensationalizing her case. With that came the trolls. Our culture, our way of life here in the mountains, was quickly under a microscope as keyboard crusaders began not only to dissect Kiely's disappearance, but also to pass judgment on everyone and everything involved in the search for her. Just as quickly as those headlines spread, however, they faded with the discovery of Kiely's remains in Prosser Creek. Although national news outlets and social media channels may no longer be thinking of Kiely and her loved ones, for members of our community, her loss weighs heavily, and it will continue to do so. Many of us are looking for some sort of closure, still trying to make sense of the loss of this beautiful, shining light of a human being, as loved ones have spoken of her. And folks have taken to different ways of finding that closure, whether by going around town and taking down flyers, joining together to make music, as did local artists, the Dead Winter Carpenters and Julia Brisbane and Brooke Shabbat at the Rubicon Gold, or going into Truckee's Cha Fine Teas where Kiely worked and ordering her favorite drink. If there's ever a time that we as Truckee Tahoe residents shine, it's when one of our own is hurting, in need, or at risk. I've personally seen what our citizens are capable of in times of need, and the effort to find Kiely was no exception. In the initial days after Kiely was reported missing, hundreds of residents from around the region came out to post flyers, form search teams, and organize efforts asking, how can we help? People donated food and water to nourish volunteers. Dirt bikers, hunters, and off-road enthusiasts who know the mountainous roads inside and out hit the ground running, biking, and riding to search miles and miles of rugged terrain. At the first press conference outside the Truckee Community Rec Center, a television news reporter questioned why there was such a massive showing in an effort to find the girl when numbers of teens go missing every day. It's Truckee, someone from the crowd shouted. I could not have agreed more. I feel so blessed to be a part of this amazing community. Our thoughts, prayers, and positivity continue to go out to Kiely's family and friends because their road ahead to healing will no doubt be a long one. So the good people of Truckee, Tahoe, keep shining and doing your best by supporting the Rodni and Neiman families and one another in any way you can. So that's like the local publication, what they had to say about Kiely Rodni. I thought it was a good article, and I wanted to share that with you. So there you go. There you go, guys. Did you guys like that article? By the way, guys, I just haven't been. You guys know I was not feeling good last week. I was not feeling good this weekend, and I just it's like it was. I think it has to do somewhat with the heat too. It's like it got cool, and then it got hot again outside, and that just really messes me up. But I just have not been feeling very good for like over a year now. I'm just ready to start feeling good again, and I think some of that's hit me. It's like I typically am filled with good faith and encouragement that I'm gonna be totally fine and normal again. But just the other day, I had a thought where I was like, "Am I ever gonna be able to play basketball again?" And I mean, like love basketball and play sports. I'm like, I can't even. Um, Today I didn't have to. I helped my neighbor just carry some sandbags, like less than 50 feet, and my heart rate and everything's just totally out of control. Like I literally was like, I almost couldn't handle it. Like I was like, my watch was going crazy. I'm like, I just, I don't know. And so some of that's just been hitting me too a little bit lately. Like, am I ever gonna be better? And I believe I am, but for the first time, I've had like a thought about that because I've remained pretty solid in my faith that at some point the Lord's going to heal me or maybe use doctors to get everything lined out. And then this past week was just so rough and difficult for me. I just had that thought, like maybe I'm never going to get better. Most of the time, most most days, I only have enough energy to do like one thing. Like I went to the mall to pick up a phone case, for example, the other day, and that was like all I could do for the whole rest of the day. Like I couldn't even do anything else. And so I don't know. It was just really challenging, and it's a hard reality for me because I used to have so much energy and be able to do whatever I want. And people are always like, man, you could do what three other people could do and that kind of stuff. And now I can do like what 10% of a normal person could do. And so just been challenging, just so you guys know where I'm at. Like I haven't been feeling very good the past few days, but I've kind of also just been in a bad mood. And I'm asking the Lord for grace. Give me faith, help me to try to you know, try to have a better mindset about what's going on. So that's that, guys. Just wanted to be transparent and honest with you about all of that. And I know many of you have been on this journey with me, and it's been difficult. It's been a difficult journey. So I wanted to share this post too I saw from Nicole Miller. She said, "In what world would this be okay? What does this being an active investigation have anything to do with either confirming or denying that you allowed family and friends to receive evidence before your LEA? This should be concerning to you. No surprise that they condone the teen-to-teen meetings. The pictures on the left is of DM and text screenshots speaking with members of WC, which is I think it's Washoe County Search and Rescue Unit. And on the right is the DM to Nevada County asking for clarification. Kiely deserved and deserves better. I think if there's anything that we've learned through this, it's that, yeah, Kiely deserved and deserves better. There's been so many times that the ball has been dropped has been frustrating and heartbreaking all the way around. Hey, Karen, you said, Tyler, do you think the laptop and other items could be put in the lake after Kiely and her car were recovered? Karen, that's a good question that people have said. The reason why I don't think that happened is because on the Adventures with Purpose video, we actually analyzed that pretty in depth. And all of the things that they found, like everything that was found underwater were things that I pretty much have circled and said were in her car based on their video. So I wasn't surprised at all by seeing what they found. And so I don't know. I don't think that that's a super reality, but could be. I mean, it definitely could be. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't, in my opinion, I don't think that that's what happened. I just think they were in her car and law enforcement didn't get them. And that's really unfortunate. Keith, thank you for that super sticker. Karen, thank you for your super chat. Hey, Joan. Joan says there's so many similarities between COVID long haul and systematic lupus. Many prayers for you, Tyler. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities with any type of autonomic dysfunction, at least the version of what I have. And so like lupus is in that category for sure. And there's several other things. And there's a lot of things I go through that I don't talk about. It's not necessary for it to be public, but there's times too where I do want to be honest with you guys and just share with you what I'm talking about and going through personally. And so, but yeah, you're right, Joan. Thank you for your super chat. Hey, Hannah, thank you for that super sticker. Hope you're having a great day. I'm glad you got to hang out with Tisha this weekend, and hope you guys had a great time at a women's conference. Hey, Mar, who kidnapped Jolissa? Hopefully we can get down to the bottom of that today, Mar. It's on my list of things to talk about. And I think there's some clues out there. I haven't been able to find them very good, but if you listen to some of the reports by Doug from Adventures with Purpose, he was saying we can easily find some information that's going to point us in the right direction. So I need some of you guys to help sleuth for me on that, and we'll do some investigating tonight on the stream as well. We're going to finish talking about Kiely probably for the next 20, 30, 40 minutes or so, and then hop into Jalissa probably. It could be quicker. Might only be 20 minutes, but yeah. And we'll hop into Kiely and sort of dive deep on that, so please stick around. Keith says, chat's saying the donate button isn't working, so I tested it and it acts like it's not going to work, but after 30 to 40 seconds, the confirmation window finally popped up. Not sure if that's what's happening for everyone, but it was mentioned. Okay. Which donate button is it? Are you talking about? Are you talking about the on YouTube, the $ button? Just taking a long time to send super chats today or something? I hate when that happens. So thank you, Keith, for the update on that. Let me check. It says the stream health is excellent. Okay. Cool. Oh, sweet. They've like updated some of the analytics on here. Perfect. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Yeah, the $ thing. So if you guys, let me know if you guys are having trouble on the $ thing. Because yeah, we usually have more people hop on and help, like super sticker train and all that stuff. Okay. So let's read again. She's saying the pictures on the left, which I'm going to click on first, are screenshots of that search and rescue team. And then on the right is she's asking to confirm it. So she said, whatever volunteers were finding while hiking, we didn't hear of anything relevant. Honestly, the bullet casing I found looked old. They were uploading pictures to the app the fam friends created, which was actually very cool. But there was hardly any law enforcement ever present, and high school kids were running the booths they had for her where people were checking in, and anything they found was dropped there. Insane. Let me see. I don't know what this is hard to read because it's like I don't know what order the things are in. Like, I don't know which one to read next. Let's see, that was 12:55 p.m. Well, this one was 10 a.m. I don't That's complicated. This is probably a little easier. 10 a.m. organizations. This response on the regular. It's where I see them. Whatever. So police weren't even present at the booths. They were holding for town events. Nothing. It was just high school kids on microphones organizing. I've never seen anything like it. The high school kids were collecting whatever people found out hiking and searching. Volunteers just had to go talk to 16 to 17-year-olds. That's crazy. I agree. Like, that's a really crazy philosophy to me. And I'm a big fan of like empowerment of young people, and like, let's encourage them to have opportunity, but I don't think we should encourage them to have adult responsibility. And here, one of their peers had passed away, and they're responsible for collecting the evidence that people find on the hikes. That to me is a little on the loco for Coco side. Hey, Taryn, thank you for becoming a part of the Feller fam. You're the first one to join us today, so I'm just so appreciative of that. Thank you so much. Hey, Mountain Kayaker, appreciate you. Thank you for your super sticker. Thank you for your support. Dan and MRC says, I love my Jesus coffee mug. That's so cool. Yeah, we're not selling that anymore, so I'm glad you got it. It was a limited run, but we do have on Tuffa.com/merch the Dove. So if anyone wants the Dove coffee mug or shirt, that's going to be available for a couple more days. And then after that, we're going to switch to the lion that I painted. And I'm working on a new painting, and I'm not quite ready to show it to you guys yet. But it's a little bit different than the ones I have been doing. So, okay, let's keep reading some of these messages. I don't know if the order matters actually now that I'm reading through it. So, this response was why we felt like we were being turned down. We kept going in. We had ATVs and equipment. Law enforcement did not have them when we saw them. Whenever we asked for an update on what was the most recently checked, guidance where they'd prefer us to go to, they literally told us to go to the volunteer booth at the rec center and get the app. Teenage girls were running the volunteer check-in for the volunteer searching. It was kind of like a WTF thing we all felt. The last week leading up to them finding her, we only saw divers, and they weren't in marked vehicles or marked gear, but were legit divers, and they were on the opposite side of the beach from where she was at. I wonder where they were searching over. So there were divers searching. My buddy, who's a care flight pilot, was told he wasn't needed when offering his services on day 5. Yeah, Andrea, your coffee will be there on Friday. And it might be there before Friday, actually. You should get it by Wednesday, Andrea, to be honest. Once the organizing by the family and friends died down, law enforcement stopped returning calls or emails regarding our assistance. It was almost like the family and friends organizing were there. We were welcome, but that stopped surprisingly quick. We had received an exact spot where the phone last pinged, and were told over and over and over the water was cleared. People were swimming or kayaking over here nearly every day. We and the independent volunteer organizations throughout Truckee, these organizations are retired professionals in search and rescue, wildlife, military, very popular in mountain towns, were asked to assist early on. But after a few days, we're no longer being organized or included in anything with law enforcement. And from what my supervisor told us, we were basically turned away and no longer working hand in hand with law enforcement. We organized on our own and went up daily and reported everything back to law enforcement at the end of our days. Anyone could go up and do whatever they wanted. The area was never closed off. It was just odd. This search was still going, but your neighbor search and rescue and your local retired pilots, divers, etc., were being turned away. Isn't that weird? Hey, Deb, you say the teens run everything in Truckee. Even Kiely's mom said something about letting the teens run the search for Kiely. Isn't that weird? Thanks for your super chat. I just think that's weird. If they do that, it just seems a little strange to me, personally. A little strange. I mean, people should be able to do whatever they want. I agree that teenagers are smart and sometimes capable, but also at the same time, sorry, I just tried to move my chair up and it hit my microphone and it shook the table. But also at the same time, if if something happened to Kylie at this party, none of the teenagers need to be involved for obvious reasons. And then on top of that, none of them need to be involved for lack of maturity reasons. So these messages are from the search and rescue, WC search and rescue. And then, so these were just screenshots of different messages. And so this person reached out to Nevada County and said, I'd like to show you a few things and show those messages. And they said, can you please confirm or deny this information in regard to Kiely Rodni? Their response was, good morning. This is an active investigation and we are unable to provide any additional information. And they said, so you're unable to confirm that the individuals who were checking in volunteer searchers at their recreation center and subsequently collecting items, insignificant or otherwise, found by searchers were law enforcement personnel. Basically, she's trying to say to them, are you willing to make no comment on the assumption that the people who were collecting all the evidence in this case were teenagers? So that's that. Hey, Lisa, thank you for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Thanks for your support. You guys are awesome today. And I just want to let you know I care so much about you and appreciate you. Okay. Whew. Another article I wanted to share with you guys. Info coming, major update in Kiely Rodni case coming this week. So we'll stay tuned to that. And obviously, as soon as there's an update, I'll share with you what it is, but I'll share the information why that they're saying that. Okay. A major update in the case of Kiely Rodni is reportedly coming this week, as her cause of death has yet to be revealed. Police are still searching for answers after the 16-year-old girl was found in the back of her submerged car near a California campground almost 2 weeks ago following her disappearance. Officials plan to provide a much-needed update on the case this week, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office told News Nation. The teen girl was reportedly last seen drunk at an end-of-school party near a family campground in Truckee. Cops reportedly said that they hope someone who witnessed something at the party could provide crucial information that leads to answers. This comes as Kiely's autopsy report is yet to be released. The volunteer dive group that discovered Kiely's body at the bottom of the Prosser Reservoir has said in YouTube videos they suspect foul play. A forensic expert told the U.S. Sun that the autopsy is being delayed because authorities are waiting for toxicology reports. Could be interesting. It's a good thought. Again, News Nation came out and said last week that this week Nevada County will be giving a big update. And so I think it's important for us to know when that update's coming, that there is one coming, and just trying to figure out what in particular that update might be. Amy, thank you for that super sticker. Really appreciate it. And she's our train conductor. And I think maybe earlier when we started the super sticker train, people's $ button wasn't working or whatever. But if you guys want to hop aboard the super sticker train, we'd be glad to have you. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Mayela says, Tyler, how do you do the motivation to do the live stream when you're feeling so low? Because I feel worse when I don't do it. That's my only response that I can think of. Forensic expert said the autopsy is being delayed. This particular case is compounded by the complexity of the samples required from a body submerged in water for 2 weeks. Jennifer Shin, crime laboratory manager for Chula Vista Police Department, said in an exclusive chat. Decomposition can cause drugs and alcohol to redistribute within the body, a condition which can be exacerbated by submersion in water for a significant period of time. Therefore, the sample types collected are more complex and require a high level of expertise to interpret any findings. And then to relate those findings to a potential cause of death, all of this is going to take time. It's not surprising that the toxicology reports are taking months to be released, and as a cause of death cannot be ascertained without them, barring some significant injuries to the body that leave no doubt, like a shooting or a stabbing or whatever, there's been no indication that the type of injury present in this case, it may be a cause of death. They need the toxicology report to determine absolutely. So, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office does have possessions of records responsive to your request. It should be noted, however, that the investigation is not complete and is considered ongoing. So Nevada County has the autopsy reports in their hand. They've stated that. Once the investigation is complete, the release will be pursuant to all privileges and or exemptions that may apply. We expect the investigation review and redaction process to be completed by November 1st. So, guys, that autopsy is completed. And I said that on a stream the other day, and I don't think people believe me. I was like, guys, I had that. And they were like, well, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it is. I couldn't remember where or how I thought I knew that information, but there was clear as day for us to see. They went ahead and said that. They went ahead and said that information. Hey, Miss Michelle, thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you for hopping aboard that super sticker train. I don't know if we should keep track of how many we get in the next few minutes, what we normally do. You're number one on our super sticker train. You are number one. Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay. Deb says Kiely was cremated, I believe, so they can cover something up. Well, if she's cremated now, which I haven't, there's been nothing to confirm that. There's just been guesses. But if she was cremated, they already completed the autopsy before that. So I don't know how anything would be covered up. On those autopsies, they take pictures of everything. They probably, on a case like that, they may even video the entire autopsy. There is a TV show where they do autopsies. Like, I don't understand how that's even allowed. Like, if you're dead, once you die, do you lose all your rights as a human in America? What if you die, you don't want an autopsy? That's things I don't understand. Like, what if you died even from suspicious causes? You don't want an autopsy. Like, is there any way to say that? Like, so anyways, they've already done the autopsy, so I don't know how they would cover anything up. Deb, help me understand. Sandy agrees with you. Thank you for your super chat. Hey, Naomi, you said you've been here since Gabby. Best decision ever made. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being a part of our Feller fam. Who else has been here like since the beginning? By the way, Deb's number 2 and you're number 3 on our super chat train. Oh, they give permission for autopsies? I feel like people have autopsies all the time, right? I don't understand how it works. I've not thought too much about it. Savannah says you put it in your last will and testimony. Testament. Makes sense. Sheila, thank you for your super chat. You said, I wish I could take away all your pain and sickness. Thank you so much. And usually, I mean, like, but usually, I mean, like, I'm never doubted in 13 months of me figuring out what I have going on that I wasn't going to be healed or better until like the other day. It's the first time I ever had that thought. It was just the first time I ever had a little like, a little inkling. So thank you for your super chat, though. Thank you for your support. Jen Warner says, Jeremiah 30:17 prayers for you, Tyler. Thank you, Jen. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the Bible verse, too. Love when people send Bible verses, send your encouragement, send your prayers. You're number 5. Maybe we'll get to 10 in the next few minutes on the super train. And there is something we talked about in another U.S. Sun article that I thought was interesting. It says, look closely, Kiely Rodni update as sleuth spot crucial clue about her death on a memorial service poster. And we've covered this some, but we will there's been updates to some of those responses in the Jennifer Coffindaffer tweet thread. But this article says, retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer noticed that while the poster included the teen's date of birth, it did not note the date of death. She tweeted, okay, I just had the chance to look closely at the announcement regarding Kiely Rodni. I find it extremely interesting that the date of death is not there. Police said the autopsy for the 16-year-old won't be released for months amid their ongoing investigation. A Twitter user questioned, waiting for full autopsy possibly? The FBI agent says, no, I cannot. I believe indicating no date is important. That's what makes Twitter so interesting. We all have our beliefs. And so I'm going to bring that up for you guys to read. Deb says, because they can say things that aren't true. Oh, I get what you're saying now. Kind of. It's like at least if the body was there, more people would have an opportunity to look. If she was cremated, there's no way to go back and see if it's true. Tyler, don't let the devil get in your head. I know I don't normally. Thank you for your encouragement, though. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support here, Deb. I understand what you're saying a little better now. Karen says, what if toxicology comes back inconclusive and they say cause of death is an accident? Will any of us believe them? Great question. Type of 1, if they label it an accident, if you'll believe them. Type 2, if they label it an accident, you won't believe them. Because I'm going to venture to say we're not going to believe them. There's just no way. If the tow truck driver or AAA, we say tow truck driver, but guys, no, we really mean AAA driver. If that guy's story is honest and they verified that Kiely was there the next day and it was Kiely's vehicle and all that, no way, Jose. People are not going to believe that. Not surprised that Alan's a 1. Carol's a 1. Myrtle Beach is a 1. I mean, Myrtle Burke is a 1. Lisa's a 1. Naomi's a 1. But pretty much the rest of you guys seem to be 2s. Hey, Deborah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Doctora Latina is a 2. Pretty much most of you guys are a 2. So a 2 means that if they say it's an accident, you won't believe them. A 1 is if you say it's an accident, you will believe them. It's just basically impossible to believe that it's an accident at this point. Coffin Daffer. Did she delete her tweet? See what she said. Jolissa Fuentes, we have not forgot about you. Hoping the private investigation on the case is reputable. Okay, this is the thread. She says, okay, I just had a chance to look closely at the announcement regarding Kiely Rodni. I find it extremely interesting that while the date of her birth is denoted, her date of death is not. Okay. This person is just ridiculous. What causes somebody to say the kind of stuff that this person says? Like, explain it to me. People say this kind of stupid stuff to me almost like, well, not even almost every day, multiple times a day. Like, she was very busy and just had a chance. She literally said, I just had a chance to look at the announcement. This guy says, you're just figuring this out. How long has it been shared on social media? Thought you were an ex FBI agent. You're just seeing this now. You can't even spell Kylie's name right. No wonder why the FBI can't ever find people and botch Kylie's case. Too many mistakes. It's like she spelled Kylie's name correctly for one. She did mess up on this hashtag, but it was on purpose, just a typo. And it was probably because other people have spelled it wrong too. But she just had a chance to look at it. She's a busy girl. What's the point of leaving a stupid tweet like that at somebody? My gosh. Jen Nerdy Biologist says, should it be? We don't know when she died. Do most people put the date the person is recovered? And Jennifer says, well, it would be logical to post the date of August 6th if it was evident and believed she attempted to drive home from the party and accidentally drove into Prosser Reservoir. Which, I mean, I thought that that's what they would put too, because it is definitely more logical. For sure. It's for sure more logical. And on top of it being more logical, if it does happen to be an accident, the only reason that, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I believe it would be now, like as I've thought more about it and had more time to be thinking about it, is like that young man that I talked to that was at the party. I had a conversation with him on Saturday. I screenshot those messages and I shared them on my stream on Saturday. He said he thinks it was an accident. She just was drunk and made the wrong turn coming out of the party and then drove into the water. And he was there. He would know how easy it was for her to just accidentally drive into the Prosser Reservoir. So I'm kind of just going with, if it is an accident, that would be the reason why. Oops, I did not mean to do that. So then she said, however, this was not indicated on the announcement, which is unusual. I think we're all searching for the truth and accountability. That's why I think what the role I'm playing in YouTube and the role some other YouTubers are playing is so important. If we all just like quit talking and allowed things to be the status quo and allowed mainstream media to write the narrative for us, then I'm telling you guys right now, we'd be in a world of hurt because they have agendas attached to what they do. And I'm not saying there is an agenda, some government conspiracy or agenda attached to what goes on in missing person cases. But by and large, you know, the media is led by people who buy advertisements on their program. And so they have to respond in ways that those advertisers want. Hey, Kristen, you said praying for you, Tyler, and family. Thank you so much, Kristen. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your blessing. Carol says, Tyler, could you poll if people in chat think the tow truck driver video shows Kiely? Sure. I'll do that for you if you want me to. I was going to say AAA driver. Does the AAA driver video show Kiely? Got your poll coming up, Carol. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Oh, Melanie, thanks for your gift over on PayPal. I actually forgot to tell people about PayPal and all that today. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can do that. If you guys want to support the channel but don't like supporting through YouTube or whatever, you can give over on PayPal, which is Tyler Feller, CashApp, which is $ Tyler Feller 22, or Venmo, which is at Tyler-Feller. Those are ways people ask me every single time, like, how can we support if we don't like giving through YouTube? Like, those are ways you can support. We also have tylerfeller.com/give. That's a great way to support as well. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you, Melanie, for your gift on PayPal. Okay. Then somebody posted like the memorial. It says August 7th. Jennifer's like, well, how do we know this is legitimate? Issued by a family member. The response was it was fact checked. It came from a family member. But even then, that doesn't really mean anything, right? Replying to Coffin Never, looking to organize fight clubs. I just don't think teenagers are doing real fight clubs. It's really frustrating to me that people keep saying that. The death certificate isn't made yet with the date. It's not filled in because whoever ordered the folders, probably like lots of other people, don't know the exact date of death. Only forensics will know that for the time being. Jennifer says agree partially. Shady, never seen anything like this. Nicole says not interesting or suspicious. Autopsy results are not in yet. Well, we know the autopsy results are in. She says not correct. Please review the case of Brian Bone and others. I agree. Very interesting. Nice catch. That's exactly the way I think. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that thought with you guys. And then I thought I'd play the original, or show you the original article from last week. It says the Nevada County Sheriff's Office told News Nation they hope to provide an update on the case next week. They also hope someone who saw something at the graduation party can help lead to answers. So there you go.
School party. Volunteer dive team that discovered the body of missing California teen Kiely Rodni now suspects foul play in her disappearance. Rodni was last seen at a high school party at a California campground, but her remains were found nearly 2 weeks later in her submerged car. News Nation's Sloan Glass joins us live. Now, Sloan, it is important to say police are not yet saying this, but why is the dive team saying foul play?
Exactly, Nicole. And lead diver Doug Bishop is saying that in the case of the California teen, he suspects foul play because of what his team saw when they found her car. Kiely's body was discovered by a volunteer group with a popular YouTube channel called Adventures with Purpose. And Kiely was found in the passenger seat.
She's in the back of the vehicle. She's not in the driver's seat. It looks suspicious to me.
Adventures with Purpose specializes in sonar recovery, particularly in finding vehicles underwater. Nevada County Sheriff telling News Nation, we are not providing comments on Adventures with Purpose remarks. Our investigation is ongoing. We hope to release the final autopsy and toxicology report soon, once they are finalized. They typically focus on cold cases, but after receiving tens of thousands of requests, Adventures with Purpose looked into into Kiely's case.
Clearly, their expertise in diving and their equipment that they brought to the table assisted us, and we appreciate that.
And after a 2-week search effort, Kiely's Honda CRV was found 14 feet underwater in less than an hour by the volunteer group.
Rear driver's side window is halfway down.
Copy that. Rear driver's side window is down.
Kiely Rodni was last seen leaving a high school graduation party with more than 300 people. She had texted her mom saying she would be leaving the party in 45 minutes, adding, "I love you." Diver Doug Bishop telling Ashley Banfield.
And you're hitting on something with someone who knows something there at the party. Someone knows something.
The PIO with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office followed up by telling us they hope to provide an update next week. But with hundreds of people having attended that graduation party, law enforcement is hoping that someone saw something at that party that can help lead to answers and will step forward. Nicole.
All right, Sloan Glass, thank you. A volunteer dive team.
Donna says, this tells me law enforcement believes the tow truck driver saw Kiely Saturday or Sunday, which makes her alive. So maybe they can't say she died that night. Exactly. Let's see. I said, does the AAA driver video show Kiely? 80% of you guys are saying no. If you guys haven't done so, please go vote in that poll because I'm super interested in that. I'm shocked. I thought it was going to be like 80% say yes, but that's 200 votes. Let's see if we can at least get up to 500 votes. I'm shocked at that response. I thought a lot of you guys were like, yeah, we believe the AAA driver story. You guys don't believe the AAA driver? That's fascinating. I'm shocked. Considering so many of you guys think it's an accident.
I'm not sure I understand.
Hey, Donna Rodni, thank you for that gift on CashApp. I really appreciate it. I wanted to share a specific spot of the interview that Ventures with Purpose did yesterday. This is fair use for me to have a conversation very quickly. I'm not stealing this content, anything like that. I'm just playing 1 or 2 minutes. This is on a channel called The Interview Room.
Has the individuals in the car been identified in the roadside assistance vehicle? Yes. Law enforcement has identified that.
He's asking, somebody sent a super chat that wasn't up on the screen, but they asked the question. Sorry, guys. My brain just got a little distracted. Somebody sent a super chat question and it asked the question, were law enforcement able to identify the people from the tow truck driver's video?
I already put this one up.
Has the individuals in the car been identified in the roadside assistance vehicle? Yes. Law enforcement has identified that. They are working. They have done their job and are working on it. But obviously, those types of it's an open investigation. So we can't disclose anything else on that, and nor is law enforcement going to at this point.
It tells you a lot, guys. That pretty much tells you everything that you need to know. Lily, no, because the poll's already going. But what you can do is just type in the chat if you think it's another girl, not Kiely. I think there's several people who might think that. Hey, Taryn, thank you so much for your super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Okay. See what else they have to say.
Yeah, there's a whole investigative process taking place behind the scenes, guys and gals. I mean, this is why I've stayed out of this until today. Mm-hmm. Really. I mean, this is the first time, I reached out to Jared and said, hey, let's connect here and put some sanity out there. And that's what we're doing right now. And, these guys, if you're just joining us, in my opinion, the AWP did everything just right. 100%. We can critique, whether or not, folks feel that they've done, or Ellie or whoever's done something different. Well, you know what? I've worked well over 300 murders in my career and almost 500 death investigations. And every single one of them has dynamics that are constantly in flux and moving. So this is one of these situations, and everything they did from my perspective, I'm hoping that Ellie will have them more and more, which they are. Law enforcement's embracing them all over the country. But now we need to, just kind of think about the family, think about, Kiely's mom, think about Kiely's dad, grandfather, everybody, and just kind of, take a deep breath and let's see where this thing goes, and let the authorities do what they need to do. And AWP's off already, looking for, Jalissa Fuentes. We don't want to lose, sight of what, she's out there. We need to help find her. She's been missing, and, and so we need to focus on that too. And I'm going to put some flyers up and stuff.
Okay. The main point of why I was playing what I was playing was just to confirm the way that Adventures Purpose said that, which was pretty obvious and evident to me that they believe it was Kiely Rodni. They said, yeah, it was confirmed. They confirmed who it was. We're going to let law enforcement do what they need to do in this situation. At this time, they're not announcing anything further.
You've never been like, hey, I've got all the answers. And I know, Doug, I've watched your stuff, as well. You're not that guy. I watched you intently when you discovered that car. Go, okay, I've got to think through this process. That's not wrong to have an opinion if you have observations under that water of what you believe. Okay. You've never been like, hey,
The dive team who found Kiely Rodni's addressed rumors of her car tires being flat, along with an update on which lakes they'd searched for. Jolissa Fuentes, 22, was last seen at 4 a.m. on August 7th when a surveillance video at Selma, California gas station recorded her getting out of her car to buy snacks. Kiely Rodni also went missing last month and was found submerged in her car. Jolissa Fuentes vanished along with her 2011 Hyundai Accent, and police are treating the case as a criminal investigation with fears of it being an abduction. The dive team, Adventures with Purpose, checked Pine Flat Lake and Avocado Lake, which is an interesting name because I really like avocados, and it kind of makes me hungry, since both the police and the family were interested in searching them. The team also walked around Kings Lake looking at the most likely place that she would have driven it, but it was too shallow. We went off of info from local law enforcement, trying to figure out based on her last ping, but it's hard to get an accurate location in the canyon terrain such as that. So we kind of actually searched a little bit further out than what you think than what you can normally go. Doug said it's completely out of character for Fuentes to vanish out of nowhere. Kiely Rodni's body was found by the same team. 16-year-old disappeared near Prosser family campground. The team was able to find Kiely's car with Sonar technology. For a new car, this is the easiest find you can have. No current, great visibility, and it's not deep. It's really, really easy for us to find. As soon as Nick went over it, he saw the shadow. As soon as I went over it, we knew that it was something. Doug described the scene when he first put the magnet in the car. There's this energy that's in the air that you just can't really describe. It's otherworldly. We knew when we found the car and I put the magnet on it that it was going to be her. One viewer asked the divers, can you clear up rumors that the front tires were flat? Nick said that they found the car upside down and that he was trying his best not to touch the car to preserve the evidence. However, even if a tire was flat underwater upside down, unless you put your hands on it and push it, you wouldn't be able to tell the tires were all there. They all looked intact to me. One of the divers found the car. Local police took the investigation and pulled the car out from the lake. An independent diving team eventually the purpose found Kiely in the lake. So Miss Lacey J said, thank you for your super chat. You said local news there said other people saw her and the van guy the day after. Sounds legit. I kind of think his story, like I've been back and forth, I've waffled back and forth on it, but after hearing Adventures with Purpose describe it in the way they just did, yeah, I'm with you. I think it sounds legit to me too. And so they always know more than what they say. And because they know more than what they say, it just makes sense. Okay. All right, guys. I want to talk some about Jolissa Fuentes now. And so, Jolissa Fuentes. What's okay? Long crime. Sorry guys, I'm just little. Okay, they put Law and Crime posted this video. They talk about Jolissa Fuentes, and so I thought we could kind of like watch it, and I'll give commentary along the way.
Jolissa Fuentes. I want to go through the timeline a little bit. So on August 6th, Fuentes was hanging out with family, and she reportedly got into a fight with a friend. Then she went home to get some things and then traveled to a local convenience store. You can actually see this on surveillance footage. And this is believed to be the last time that she was seen getting into and driving away in her 2011 silver Hyundai sedan. Now, Selma Police Chief Rudy Alcaraz announced, quote, "To this point, there is nothing overtly that leads us to believe that a criminal act has occurred. However, Ms. Fuentes has been gone a long time, and this is not normal behavior for Ms. Fuentes. So we are treating this as a criminal matter." He goes on to say, quote, "We were able to determine that Ms. Fuentes' phone traversed through the city of Sanger and up into the Avocado Lake and Pine Flat area, which is an area apparently Fuentes had been to before. Well, now the search and recovery dive team, Adventures with Purpose, is on the case. Now, this is a group that actually recovered the body of missing 16-year-old Kiely Rodni last week. Adventures with Purpose found her inside of an upside-down vehicle that was submerged in 14 feet of water in Prosser Creek Reservoir, out in California. They've been doing incredible work.
Our job is to be here to find the where.
Confirm. I see the vehicle and the license plate. We have just found Kyle's vehicle.
And that leads me to what I want to do right now. I am thankfully and luckily joined by Doug Bishop from Adventures with Purpose. Sir, thank you so much for coming on the sidebar.
Likewise, thank you for having me.
I will just say, off the top, you're doing tremendous work, and I think it's an incredible service that you're doing. So the more that we can actually amplify this and allow people to know the work that you do, I think that's great. And so just the way to start off, just want to thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All the support that we get, including you guys covering us, makes it possible for what it is that we do.
And I want to ask how you got involved in the Fuentes case. I mean, did police contact you, or did you contact police and say we might be able to help here?
Their family is absolutely incredible. The fight that they have is one like no other.
I do agree that the Fuentes family is incredible, and I'd love to be connected to them. Amanda, which was someone I was on the panel with before on Zav Girl's channel, said she was going to connect me to the family because I think maybe she's interviewed them or had some conversations with them, and I'm waiting on that connection to fully come through. But yeah, I really want to have the family on the stream, Jolissa's family on the stream, if possible.
No other that I have experienced in working cases. So them, including the police department, Nevada County, Fresno County Sheriff's Office. We were all in communication with them as well. This is a tough case. Anytime we have anyone that disappears, let alone a 22-year-old young woman vanishes without a trace, her and her vehicle, it's very disturbing. We have quite the following.
And, our supporters, especially with the headlines from the Kiely's case last week, I was very outspoken about Jalissa while working that case as well. So, we were in direct communication with family and the local authorities there every step of the way during what we were doing.
And just to understand, before we even get to Jalissa's case, how long has Adventures with Purpose been around? How long have you been working on these kinds of cases? You look at your YouTube page, you have over 2.2 million subscribers. Walk us through a little bit of the history of Adventures with Purpose.
Yeah, so Adventures with Purpose, we started as an environmental cleanup organization with our founder, Jared Lysick, focusing his diving efforts on, cleaning up waterways with trash and so forth. This quickly turned into focusing on removing vehicles from underwater. Those vehicles quickly turned into human remains turning up inside of them. And while filming this, we amassed a wonderful support group all around the world who watches what we do, supports what we do. And for the last 2.5 years, we've been primarily focused on missing persons cases, particularly those involving a vehicle.
Have you ever gotten any pushback from police or law enforcement saying, hey, this is our jurisdiction, this is our job, you're not supposed to get involved?
In the very beginning, yes, in a sense. But nowadays, absolutely not. It's the quite opposite. If there's water related to a case, we're called on, and we have become somewhat of experts in what it is that we do. It's a unique skill set that we provide. Law enforcement agencies are really, really welcoming to us. We get requests every day on cases from family and law enforcement, and everybody understands the resource that we are to them, and they're very thankful for what it is that we bring to the table.
And speaking of what you bring to the table, are there certain techniques that Adventures with Purpose has that maybe local law enforcement doesn't have? Maybe it doesn't have the capabilities that you have. Are there certain techniques that you use that other agencies don't?
Absolutely. It comes down to quite a few different things, and it's not a knock on law enforcement. This is, quite a few things. Like I said, it's red tape, lack of resources in some cases, and also the knowledge that we bring with how to manipulate the sonar, particularly to find a vehicle. We do this every day. Law enforcement agencies as a whole, they may do it once, twice, 3 times a year. So that the knowledge that we've been able to amass, particularly by focusing on discovering vehicles underwater, is extremely rare, and there's no school for it.
Can you walk us through what the sonar does? So how does it work? You go into the water, you use this sonar device. How does it detect? Does it just detect vehicles? Does it detect people? How does it work?
Yeah, it can detect people. It can detect, everything pretty much, other than very small objects, say like a cell phone or, but other than that, we can detect almost anything underwater. And what we're doing is we're using a down imaging, a side scan, and a live scope.
He's giving away all their secrets. There needs to be more people that understand sonar, and he's sending you their sonar like at Bass Pro. As you guys know, I do like the Bass Pro Shop. So let me just, what the heck? The freaking, try to click on BassPro.com. It took me to some of their website. I'm going to type in Sonar and Bass Pro just to see how much they are, how much they cost. It's like $1,000 for a sonar. For the first one that popped up was $1,000. Here's one for $1,600. It's called the Hummingbird Chirp. There's a lot there, like $100, $200. Here's one for $1,700. He said it's like a fish finder is what they use. Here's one for $1,700. Here's one for $2,100. The Garmin Chart Plotter Fish Finder. So,
sonar. These are 3 systems that we will essentially put together in order to manipulate the image of what it is we're trying to find underwater. And then secondly, we're divers. So when we do find something that is, of interest to us that we think may be a vehicle, for instance, we're able to dive on those and rule them out.
So you see the sonar, you see it's some sort of object, then you dive to check it out. Let's talk about what's happening with Jolissa Fuentes. If you can, what is the status right now with your search efforts?
So we came in, we worked very closely with the family for several days to rule out waterways within the target area of what the Fresno County Sheriff's Office and Selma PD thought her cell phone last pinged in.
This, where the cell phone last pinged, that's the most confusing part of this, because some of them are saying like, well, it was unreliable data. Like it was unreliable due to the fact that there's so many mountains. It sort of like threw off the areas. It's like a 15-mile radius.
This region out on the slopes over there in the county, it's a very vast region. However, there's several bodies of water that were in this region. And the family was extremely concerned about these waterways. We know, as you described, she left a convenience store early hours of the morning. That was the last physical sighting of her ever, her vehicle. Her phone then continued to ping up into this mountain area where there are lakes. And we came in, I cleared those bodies of water, and now they're able to take what we've done, and now they're focusing on 100%. This is a criminal act. Something has happened. Somebody has done something to her. Somebody has taken her. We are really focusing on more of the sex trafficking scenario.
Sex trafficking. Why do you guys think that they think it's sex trafficking? And I think it's shocking to know that a family member of Jolissa's was trafficked. Is that not shocking to you guys? Shocking to me that a family member of Jolissa's was trafficked not that long ago before this. And then just dropped off. Like, was trafficked for like 5 weeks, a younger family member, and then just dropped off. I think it's just insane. And it's like, for some reason, like trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking, or whatever, in this nation is not something that people talk about yet. It's a significant problem. I don't even understand. But at this point, they think she's been trafficked or abducted. So, guys, we really need to pay attention in this case, do some sleuthing, because there's a possibility that we can get down to the bottom of what happened to Jolissa. And so, unfortunately, there's a lot more eyes on what's going on with Kiely Rodni. There's a lot less eyes on what's happening with Jolissa. I really think that we need to cover Jolissa's case. We should have a heart to find someone who's possibly abducted and being human trafficked, and we might be able to get down to the bottom of it right now. Compared to Kiely Rodni, which until they release an update about autopsy and or toxicology report or accident or whatever cause of death was, or manner of death, where we don't have much more to talk about in that case. I know that there's things you guys want to talk about, and I will talk about it, and we'll continue to talk about it, but this is significant to me.
In this case, Jalissa's family really wants answers. And the more that we're able to cover this and put her word out there and hang up flyers and have her picture seen, the more likelihood of her being found or someone that out there knows something coming forward.
The fact that it has been officially confirmed to be a criminal matter now, does that affect the way you do the search?
And so we've completed our search with these waterways. We focus on water. We were able to rule these bodies.
They completed the search. They ruled out all the waterways, so they know that she's not there, which then kind of goes and points only to a few other options, especially since the vehicle is completely missing. Doctoral Latina says there's a particular demographic, and sadly, it does not surprise me. Kiely's demographic is less likely trafficking. Yeah, you're exactly right. You are exactly right. I hate that it's like that. And it's like, well, how do we do something about it? It's like we're just one tiny voice. And I know it matters to Jalissa and it matters to her family, but we've got even our stream, we started talking about Jalissa, the amount of people watching dropped drastically. We were talking about Kiely Rodni. Everybody's wants to be on the stream right now. Start talking about Jolissa, attendance dips. Why is that? It's not a coverage issue. It's a cultural issue. It's like the culture just doesn't want to talk about Jolissa. The culture just doesn't want to talk about people that, for whatever reason, don't fit the demographic that the news has pounded into us. I don't understand that. It's not even the news's fault. It's the viewer's fault. It's the viewer's fault. So thank you for hopping aboard Super Sticker Train. You're the first person in this second hour. We usually start again at the beginning of the hour. I think you're the first person in this second hour. The Super Sticker Train, Doctora Latina. Thank you for your support. If anybody else wants to hop aboard, we'd love to have you.
Bodies of water out so that there's no more speculation. There's no more, hey, we now know something has happened. You know, this young, we're talking about a beautiful 22-year-old, responsible, intelligent, you know, young woman who just vanished without a trace. You know, we're not talking about any red flags within her life and her circle. You know, nothing adds up into this other than somebody has done something, somebody has her, and, you know, they need to release her or somebody needs to come forward.
I hate to ask this. I hate to ask it, but this is something I have to ask. Obviously, if you had a fully formed body, it would be easy to detect. If there is a situation where somebody...
That's kind of a weird statement. If you had a fully formed body. If my daughters went missing, they and I know YouTube wouldn't care. It makes us sad. It makes me sad too. It makes me sad too because it just doesn't make any sense. And it's not just YouTube. It's like the whole world. It's like the whole world. What is it? You guys tell me. Thank you. You're number 2 on our super chat train this hour. Doctora Latina. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
Somebody's body was mutilated or decomposed in a way, and would your search efforts still be able to find someone in that kind of condition?
Yes, and we have done so before. However, the intel that we need in order to conduct a search like that has to be highly accurate. You know, searching for something along the lines of what you just described is a whole nother level of searching and discovery. So, you know, without an accurate location for us to be in there searching on that level, you know, we wouldn't be able to do much without some really good intel. But it's possible because we've done it before.
So just to confirm, this Avocado Lake area, this Pine Flat area, you search the waters. There's no indication Jalissa's in there. Are you going to stay up? You're going to stay a part of this investigation? Let's say it takes you to another area. Are you going to still be a part of the investigation if water is concerned, or is there a certain extent you said, hey, we're going to leave it to law enforcement, or are you going to still be a part of this?
Yeah, we're completely a part of this every step of the way. You know, if we're needed, we're there for Jalissa's family. I can tell you again that, you know, her family, they want answers, and her family has a fight in them that I have never seen before. They are a force to be reckoned with, and they're going to find answers. They are going to find Jalissa, and you know, my heart goes out to them, and I'm in a way glad that I did not find them because I didn't want to take hope from them. This is a really fresh case. So me being able to come in and rule out those waterways right away in the main target area where her cell phone last pinged, took the case in a whole new direction and still leaves hope on the table. So, you know, where I come in, you know, a lot of times I feel like I'm the bad guy because I'm looking for worst case scenario. But in this instance, you know, it was a success because we were able to rule those areas out, and still the family has that hope that she's out there.
And Doug, I don't mean to give away, you know, trade secrets here, but in terms of how you were able to actually search the area and confirm it, what was the process?
Oh, hey, Patty, thank you so much. You're number 3. Lisa, you're number 4. You said prayers for Jalissa and her family. This is incredibly sad. I think that maybe that's the most important thing that any of us can do is spend some time in prayer. And so I couldn't agree more. We need to be praying. Thank you for your super chat. Number 5, thank you, Kendra. You said we want more Jalissa coverage. I hope so. I really hope so. If you guys want more Jolissa coverage, put a 1 in the chat. If you want me to go back to talking about Kiely Rodni, which I'm not going to do today, but if that's what your desire is, put a 2. And if you would rather me just not talk about this case, but instead talk about Jolissa. So, or Kiely. So one, if you're okay with me also covering Jolissa. 2, if you're okay with me also covering, or just want me to cover Kiely. And probably what I'll do, because I hate doing one stream where it's about 2 people. Like the reason I didn't today is just because I didn't have energy to. But I would like to do 2 streams in one day. Like I'd like to do one stream earlier in the day about, you know, Kiely or whatever, and then one stream in the evening about Jolissa or vice versa. So I really hope to do that. I don't like doing, I like it when we do one stream about one person and we can go deep on it. So, hey, Doctora Latina, you said my 23-year-old daughter would offer great information on this topic. Perhaps she could be a guest on your panel sometime. Young Latinas need a voice in order to help change the narrative. I agree. They do need a voice to change their narrative, and that'd be cool. And I'm still too trying to figure out, like, what are those demographics? I know, like, young Latinas one. It seems like Doug's mentioned, like, Alaskan or natives is one. Like, what are the demographics of people who are typically trafficked? And somebody was like, talking about how much someone weighs. I don't think that matters because they just starve them. Like, I don't think they're looking for like the most perfect candidate right off the beginning. I think you're number 6 on our super chat train. Thank you so much for ushering in generosity today too. But yeah, it'd be cool. I'd love to see what your daughter had to say about some of this stuff.
Process that you went through to make sure that there were no remains of Jalissa there.
Yeah, so primarily we are focused on finding her vehicle. Her and her vehicle are missing. The missing link to this case is obviously Jalissa, but in any investigation where the vehicle has disappeared as well, the vehicle provides that next clue, that next lead, that next avenue for investigators and searchers to continue to find Jalissa. The finding the car is going to be the next step in this, if not just finding Jalissa. So searching Avocado Lake, searching Pine Flat Lake and Kings River. We're looking for her vehicle primarily.
I also want to just take a few, because we have a few minutes to just talk about this, and you might be limited in what you can say, but my understanding is there's another person that you're looking for as well, 75-year-old Annette Adams. She's also known as Annette Murado. She hasn't been seen in more than a year. Authorities think that she was driving a black 2020 Buick Enclave, has a California license plate, AP 8PNV871. Can you tell us anything about what the search efforts are there for Miss Adams?
Yeah, so this case is pretty complex. We have a cell phone signal that last pinged in the area of Point Arena, right on Highway 1 on the coast. There's some speculation that this may have been an accident. Her vehicle is here somewhere near the coastline. We are in the process of organizing the resources that we can utilize in order to safely get into this cliff area here that's very aggressive, very deadly, that to this point no other agency will do this search in this area. It's very deadly. We're not talking about a rescue, we're talking about a recovery. So the risk matrices involved with agencies that do this, they're not going to violate those matrices when it's a recovery effort. So we're in the process of organizing, a larger vessel to get out there safely here really soon, so that we can conduct our search and our dive efforts there to rule that area out. And we think we have it narrowed down pretty well. Is that 100% that she's there? Absolutely not. Her cell phone could have been ditched in this location and something else could have happened. But that's where we come in. We're able to come in and we're able to rule these waterways out so that investigators and agencies can say, all right, there's no more speculation. We don't think that her car went off this cliff. We can now focus on all of our efforts and resources into a criminal investigation and find out what happened to Miss Adams.
And Doug, as we talk about this, I am curious, what are some of the difficulties that you've had in terms of going into these bodies of water and trying to recover evidence or trying to recover vehicles or bodies? I mean, you mentioned it a little bit in terms of dangerous areas. What have been some of the challenges that you've seen in searching these areas?
Every dive that we do is challenging because we're in adverse conditions. We're not in pretty water. We're in extremely low visibility. It's rare that we have visibility. We were talking rough currents, places that no one else has searched. And we're also talking about, places that I can't say nobody else has searched because majority of the people that we find are in areas other agencies have searched. But these are places that other divers per se would not dive. They're pretty challenging. When you're dealing with currents and low visibility, and you have all types of obstacles. You have trees and everything to get hung up on. It's pretty dangerous, but we're confident in pushing limits in order to provide answers for families.
And I think that's really, if we're going to end with anything, that's really what you guys do so well is you provide answers to families, and you're providing a terrific service. So I really want to thank you for your efforts. And I can imagine Jalissa's family cannot thank you enough for all the work that you've been doing. And as you said, you're providing them hope because you didn't want to give them an answer at this point as to but you can at least rule out those waterways, and hopefully Jolissa will be recovered safely. And, this will have a positive ending, although these are just such sad stories. And, our hearts and prayers are with that family. But Doug, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
There's our super sticker train conductor. Thank you, Amy Heights, for being an amazing super sticker train conductor. You're number 7. And be awesome if we doubled those in the next 10 minutes, got to 14. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being such a great mod. And shout out to all of our other mods in the chat today. I see Keith. I see Mickey. I see Michelle Lamont. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel, helping us in that way. I wanted to play some of the interview too. I know we already watched it, or we watched some of it. I want to play it through just again. I want to hear the family talk. I want to talk through it. I want to hear what they're saying. Let's have some commentary around it. Because let's think about like the Naomi Irian case. Like, the family knows best, guys. The family knows best. So let's just get in this mind zone of like trying to really hear and see what they're saying and what sticks out to us, and let's do some literal sleuthing.
Tell Jalissa's story, and that's what we're here to do, is be a voice for Jalissa and draw awareness to.
By the way, I really think that this is a case that collectively we can crack together. So let's do it. Who's in it with me? Say, I'm with you if you want to help me try to crack the case of what happened to Jalissa Fuentes. And I actually emailed Doug a few seconds ago and just said, can you, because he mentioned that there's some information regarding Jolissa that he thinks is very interesting and is pointing to possible abduction. So I'm like, can you send me what that information is? Donna says a video surfacing shows a man leaving the store without buying anything. Maybe he followed her and snatched her. Yeah. See, I'm curious of that too, Donna. Do you know which video that is? You can send it to me. Thank you guys for your super chat.
Jalissa's disappearance, 2 weeks old. There's still so many possibilities in this case. And I don't want to find your daughter. I don't want to find your niece or your cousin. I don't. We want her to still be out there. I want to be able to finish doing what we do and say, you don't have to worry about any of this. You guys can focus efforts and resources in a more efficient manner elsewhere.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad that they're doing that. Darla, thank you for that super sticker. You're number 9. Donna, you were number 8. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for blessing the channel, Darla.
So I'll let Nick get started with, some of the questions that we need answered, and it'll be really easy. At any point, if there's a moment we need to take a break, just let us know.
Okay, thanks. Like Doug said, we appreciate this. This is going to help us. So to start this off, what we're going to need to know is kind of a little bit of history on Jalissa and her background. So if you can kind of give us a history of like where she was born, where she was from, where did she go to school, what kind of girl she was, what did she do for fun, possible relationships she had, things like that.
She was born here in Selma, California. She went to school here. She graduated, 3 years ago? She's 22, so 3 years ago? Yeah, she graduated from Selma High 3 years ago. Jolissa liked to be with her family, spend a lot of time with her cousin. So her cousin knows that area more.
Yeah. She's a very, like if she's around, you can't be sad or you can't be mad. You can't hold grudges. She would be like, get over it. Like, you're going to get over it. Like, we're family. Leave it alone, If you're like sad, you're most definitely going to laugh if she's in the room because she's a very like sarcastic person, very sarcastic. She can't take anything serious. Yeah. Like she's always joking about something. If you're mad or whatever, she'll make a joke and you'll start laughing. It's just always a good time when she's around,
Life at the party.
Yes, definitely.
Like if
yes.
you tell her to dance, she'll dance.
Yeah.
If you put on this silly hat, she'll put on this silly hat. Do a little, I don't know, some of the videos that I put up of her, she's doing like a little dance and then she's telling all her brothers and you do it.
She's very carefree. Like she doesn't care what anybody thinks about her or what anybody says about her,
Very dependable.
Yeah.
She just seems like an awesome person. That's how I feel when I watch that. When they're describing her, I'm like, man, she just seems awesome. Keith, thank you so much for that super sticker. You're number 10 on our super sticker challenge today. Thank you.
She's a worker bee, She wouldn't miss work. That's why we knew too. When when she went missing that Monday morning, I went to her job and waited out there just in case she showed up. Just in case she showed up to work, Yeah. And when she didn't show up, even more so, our hearts were broken because she never does a no call, no show. She's worked at her employer for almost 2 years, and so her not spending her money, and we know something's wrong because Jolissa, she was a saver. Like she saved all her money, bought her own car, like paid cash.
Responsible.
Yes, and she still had her money in the bank, and she just loved her family. Like she was very silly, hilarious, outgoing. You knew she was there. She was a presence, and so not having her in our household has been, presence is missing, and it's going to be missing until we find her, and that's why we're.
Laura says her super chats are messed up. Is anybody else having problems with their super chats? I don't know what the problem is. Laura, I'm sorry that you've tried that. I don't know. Somebody else was saying that earlier, and this continues to be a problem. The past couple days on here. Obviously, some people are able to send super chats, but others are not. So I don't know. I'm sorry that you're having that problem. I don't know. I'm sorry. Thank you though for wanting to.
We're so grateful to you guys because we know and we're praying and trusting in God that she's not out there. But we need to move from that, like you said, and we need to move to keep searching. And
Valerie says can't send super chats either. If you guys want to send a chat over on PayPal, then I could read it that way too. I was asking if you can look into the Daniel Robinson case. Yeah, Laura, we've covered that case pretty in depth and continue to cover it from time to time as well.
So, but 100%, if this was anybody else in our family, Jolissa would be doing the same thing. She would be the one out there and saying, not stop. These kiddos, like her brother and her sister and Sky and her boyfriend have been out. They get up, crack of dawn, 6 o'clock in the morning till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning every day, nonstop. That was our morning. 6 o'clock we get up. We're out there till 11, 12 o'clock night. All of us searching these fields, calling each other.
Yeah.
We're over here. Locations now. Locations is a must for all of us now. Like we need to know where we're at. And so
It's a lot of fight that you guys have.
We're not gonna stop fighting. We're gonna bring her home. Like, we're gonna bring her home. We know and we trust that she's out there somewhere, and we're gonna bring her home. So whoever has her, or if she's with someone.
Thank you, Miss Michelle, for testing that. You're number 11. Thank you for the test. You're number 11 on our super chat train. I'm sorry some of you guys are not having a problem. We were kind of like low and slow on the super chat thing today, which is, I mean, it's like you never know what's going to happen when you do a stream. So I just thought, like, you know, Monday people don't super chat as much or something. But yeah, we're kind of behind the 8 ball today, but it makes sense that a lot of your guys' super chats for whatever reason are not working.
We're not going to stop looking. You guys need to know that we're not going to stop looking. Like, we are going to find her. Like, there is no way that we're not going to find her.
Can you tell me about any sort of like hobbies that she liked to do or things she liked to do on her free time?
She loved to go out of town. Like, that was her thing. Yeah, drive. She liked to go to the beach. She liked to go to the lake. She just liked to kind of go places where she could clear her mind if she needed to.
Exploring and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Like being out.
Yeah.
But the one thing about her is she didn't ever drive on freeway.
Yeah, no, she doesn't know how to drive on the freeway.
Yeah, she was too scared.
So going along with.
They did, Doug said, I think when I interviewed him, that yeah, Brandon, thank you so much for that. Yours went through. It's number 12. I wonder if it's like people on, if you guys are on the YouTube app, you might need to update your app in the App Store. That'd be why. If you're on the website, if you're on Google Chrome, it should be working just fine. But anyways, one of the things they said, yeah, she doesn't drive on the freeway, which I think is very interesting.
Ways from here.
I like that. I like that.
She would never drive on the freeway. So if she did drive on the freeway, we know someone was driving her. So it was either her friend, her brother.
Is there a reason for that? She's just scared of the
She's
heights?
just scared of the.
I got distracted and forgot to say what I was trying to say. They do this thing where, like, they trace everyone's license plates. I don't know if you knew this or not, but everywhere you drive, your license plates are being basically tracked. And the last time that Jolissa's license plate had showed up on one of those scanner systems was literally in 2020, which means she have not been driving anywhere. She's literally been taking the back roads for the past several years. Hey, Heidi Joy, thank you so much for that. You too, Naomi. Appreciate you guys hopping aboard that super sticker train.
The freeway. She never even drove to my house in Fresno. I live in Fresno. My son would drive them to my house because she doesn't drive on the freeway. And my 16-year-old drives on the freeway, and he'd be like, "Come on, Jalissa, like, why aren't you driving? You know, get it together."
She's like, no, the freeway. So we know for sure that if she's on the freeway, like, someone has her, because she would drive to like Pine Flat or Avocado.
Yeah, that's it. Like, she wouldn't. She wouldn't get
down
on the
here,
99
the
or
valley. No big freeways. Like, she was scared of them.
So did she have, was she in a relationship at all?
No.
Not at the moment, okay.
No relationship, just her friends that she hangs out with. I know that, I don't know if you're familiar with this, she did go to like a family friends gathering. That was like a party for a family friend, and she was there. And you know, from that on.
And where was that at?
That was here in Selma.
It's like down the street from my grandma's house.
From her house.
And that, when was the party?
That same day she went missing.
The same day she went missing. Yeah. So that morning.
I find that to be interesting. And she was at a party the night before, and they said they've cleared it with that friend, but like other possible suspects could be anybody else who was at that party. So I wonder how many people were at that party, who was at that party. Well, you know, that'd be like the obvious first place for me to think. Give me a guest list of every single person who's possibly here, and let's bet them. Was there anybody who's possibly tied to a human trafficking ring that was at this party? And we already know that Selma, Fresno area, that is a hot spot for this type of activity. You're the classic demographic for it. You know, Jolissa's classic. Somebody in the family's just had this happen to them. His family's dealing with this already. It's just crazy. Kristen says, make me know thy ways, O Lord. Teach me thy paths. Lead me and thy truth, and teach me, for thou art the God of my salvation. For thee I will wait. All that is a great passage of scripture out of the book of Psalms. Thank you so much, Kristen. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you for your support. Miss Michelle says, anxiety can keep people from driving on the freeway. Just speaking from past experience. Okay, so yeah, there's a clue piece. She probably does have some anxiety. It could be why she wanted to go to the gas station at 4 a.m. because nobody's there, right? Good thought.
She left there, I think, was it about
2:30ish, 3 o'clock?
Yes.
In the morning.
Yeah, she left there about 2:33, and then she came home.
She called Joey, baby Joey, and then from there, that last thing, she was at the AM/PM at 4:06 a.m. She takes off to the country, and then at 5:24 or 5:26, she makes a FaceTime call to my daughter.
So she was at an AM/PM gas station. That's where she was caught on video surveillance. And that's here in Selma.
Yes, down the street.
And then this was after the party.
Guys, I'll share that footage with you of her. Actually, I'll just do it right now. And just remember where spot we're at in this video. Jalissa Fuentes. Gas station. All you need is love. All you need is love. My goodness, it should be a lot easier to find this gas station footage. Guys, I'm trying to find this gas station footage. I know we've already played it before, but okay, I found a news article or news story that plays it. And the thing I want to point out to you guys, amongst other things, is how does it work when she opens the door?
Last Sunday. Here's
What I meant to say. I think it's strange how she opens the door of her car.
surveillance video from that day. Jolissa pulls up at 4:04 a.m. She buys a cigar and she's back
Now we know what she bought. She bought a cigar.
in her 2011 silver Hyundai Accent by 4:06 a.m.
Right there. They slowed it. How she opens the door.
Back in her 2011 silver Hyundai Accent by 4:06 a.m. But
Oh my gosh, I was on mute. I was sitting here talking to you guys the whole time. I'm over here muted like a crazy person. Hey, Laura, thank you so much for your super chat. Appreciate it. Sorry I was muted, guys. Now Tisha's calling me. Hello. Oh, I am streaming. Yeah. It's okay. That's why I texted you. Yeah. All right. Bye. Sorry, guys. I called this guy out from the first time I saw this footage. Like, I don't know. It does appear as if he's not buying anything, right? Like, it's possible he bought fuel for his vehicle and went inside and used a restroom or something. But so that's my clue piece number one. Like, what's he in the store doing? All right. Clue piece number two is how she opens the door. She's kind of waddling when she's walking, which is like, maybe she's intoxicated. Right there. That's what I'm talking about when she opens that door. Let's watch it again. She buys a cigar. That guy has something in his hand. I just noticed it. Oh, frame by frame. What is that? His phone or is that something? See that right there? What do you think that object possibly is? I'm very curious about what that object possibly is. And so here Jalissa is. Makes a purchase. Wonder why they didn't check her ID. Then look how she opens this door. I don't know anybody who opens their door like this. See? Why would you open your door like that? Like a kid when they're angry opens their door like that, right? You guys tell me what you think. Someone texted me and said maybe they like there was some kind of like drugs in the bathroom or something. But the thing is, this was at 4 a.m. and she did 2 FaceTime calls at 5:56 or 5:46 a.m. or whatever. So the only other thing is like maybe she is intoxicated, right? Because like she waddles a little bit when she leaves the store. So like I can see a drunk person opening the door like that. Just different thoughts, guys. That car in the parking lot right there seems to have pretty tinted windows. Wonder if that's that guy's car or whose car it is. So there's that. I'm going to go back to the Adventures with Purpose video. We're at 9 minutes and 30 seconds in that video. But just keep that in mind. We'll probably come back and really analyze that.
And do we know what she was doing at the gas station?
She was buying something. She bought something and then she swiped her card. She walked into the car and then she took off west.
Do we know what she bought?
I don't know.
They didn't tell us. We wanted to see the receipts and they
kept everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so but the police department has that.
They probably do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I mean that whole time when we were when she went down Nebraska.
Nebraska Avenue.
Yeah,
right?
we were searching all that time, but I guess they had the footage already that she had came back into town, and we didn't know.
We were out there in the country for days. All of us
for like
even our family we were going through roads and like.
And so you said they have her coming back into town.
Right.
When what was the time gap there?
They didn't tell us the time. They just said her phone was pinged in the Avocado Pine Flat Lake area that morning. That was the last ping.
But we didn't get that until like
I don't know how many days
barely last week, right? Because we started searching on our own. So we were out there for a whole week, like with major search teams, searching those fields, those vineyards, those ditches, those trees. Abandoned houses, abandoned property. For about a week, having mass searches out there, that whole area, drones. Eagle One, they reached out and Eagle One was helicoptering, out there, and then they ended up coming. We didn't find out. She turned back into the news conference that they had that she came back into town, and that's when we knew, like, whoa, she came back into town. We didn't know. We spent so much time.
So how do they know she came back into town?
They said they have her on camera. they have a footage of her coming back in town. That because I was like, when the chief called my husband, where they were talking, and I said, well, do you guys have her like? Did she come back into town by her, by herself? And he goes, I could tell you she came back came back from the country by herself, but I'm not going to tell you where.
Did they give a time?
No.
And they didn't tell us, because when she went out, they said she was by herself. So they said possibly she drove to Sanger. And so, right, because they said Sanger on the conference. And so Sanger is going towards Avocado Lake. You go through that town, right? And she would go through there because I don't think she would go the other route because it's the freeway. Avocado Lake, you go through that town, right?
It just doesn't make sense why she'd be in Selma at that gas station, drive all the way to Avocado Lake and back. And another thing I'm thinking about is like, why does she smoke cigars? I don't know very many females that smoke cigars. I know a lot of men who smoke cigars. I don't know a lot of women that do. I'm not saying that they can't, but so it's about 34 miles for her to drive to Avocado Lake and back. So that would make sense, right? Because it's just the timing of her coming back into town, which is what they say happened. She puts weed in it. Really? Oh. Okay. So what do? They just clean out? Like, explain to me what happens. They just like stick something in there and like get all the tobacco out and then put marijuana in there? Or like they unravel it, let the tobacco. Tells you guys how much I know. Anyways, so this from the AM PM gas station to Sanger is like 14 miles or something, and it's about 30 miles all the way to Avocado Lake and back. So if she left at 4 and then she got back at like 5:46, that makes sense if she went there and did something and came back. I didn't know that, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh. I feel like I'm learning a lot about drugs and alcohol in parties talking about these cases.
And she would go through there because I don't think she would go the other route because it's the freeway. And so
She had to go through little roads.
Yeah, she had to go through little roads. And so, but they didn't say at that point if she was with someone at that time. So they wouldn't disclose to us. And so we were like, wow, we had many people out there searching for days out there. Days.
Yeah,
And
so I mean, coming into this, everybody.
But in California, marijuana is legal, right? So why wouldn't she just go buy it at the marijuana shop? And I'm not just talking about who somebody says it's not drugs, it's legal in California. It's still caffeine's a drug. If you look up classification of drug, just because something's legal or not doesn't mean it's not a drug. Marijuana is definitely a drug. Some people call alcohol a drug. So, but why would she go buy a wrapper? What time? Let me just look up like Selma cannabis dispensary and see the hours. Closes at 10 p.m. Gravity Cannabis. Because I bet like in Vegas, those places are open 24/7. They close at 7 p.m. Oh, here's one music. Oh, that's Music City. Hang on, I'm looking in Nashville. I'm looking in the wrong city. Let me look up Selma, California cannabis. Okay. Cannibal Cannabis closes at 9 p.m., opens at 9 a.m. So Paige, thank you for your super chat. Hey, you hit that right when we passed over into the second hour of this show. And so that's great. You're the first super chat of this hour. It'd be amazing if we got 30 super chats this in the second hour. We probably won't be on here for 3 hours, but if we got 30 super stickers or super chats, that'd make a huge difference tonight. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it.
Everybody's been telling me Pine Flat, Avocado Lake, and I mean those still are areas of interest for me. I guess my biggest question in this at the moment is we have to identify if they know it was her in the vehicle. So if they're confident that it was her vehicle, I need to know how do they know she was in the vehicle? You know what I mean? Or, you know, it's an active investigation, so they're never going to be open the way you want them to. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, and it's not helping your hearts or your minds. But if that's normal, because, you know, they always have to investigate things, you know, for the worst case scenario, and they have to treat everybody like they may be a suspect, so they're not going to be open all the time.
We told them that.
Investigate us first,
we said, please, you know,
get us
because
out the way.
we said, please
And
start
move
with
on,
us.
you know?
Start with us,
Start with
because we
us.
know how it is. Start with us. We're all open. Come to our house, rip them apart, do what you need to do to get us out of the way, so you can focus on her and where you need to go, because we're trusted in you guys, you know, and so we understand that whole part of them not being able to divulge information to us, because it could be critical, and there's so many of us, and you know, we told them, but we're a resource to you guys. If you guys, we don't have a big department here, and they're doing the best that they can, but we're a resource, you know, and you tell us that you have a smaller location, we can have over 100 people here searching. We're a resource, and so we will be present. We just need your help, you know, and they're doing their best. We know they are. They limited resources, people, you know, the time of COVID and people getting ill. It's just, but that's why we started to reach out. And if she's in those waters, we just need that peace of mind to move on from there. So.
And then, do you guys have any theories as to what happened to her?
The thing about Jalissa, she always told people where she was. Like, she told me that night that she was at her friend's gathering, and then she called her brother to tell him that she was going to the AMPM. And I don't know what the last call was for, but to her sister later on that night, but she did always call and tell people where she was going. She never would go somewhere without leaving everybody clueless about where she was.
She's smart.
Yes,
she's
smart.
She knows.
Somebody like a little heads up,
Yes,
you know?
always,
And they said that she made a phone call at 5:26 a.m.
Yeah, was the last time she ever, that we know to us, that she called my sister, my daughter.
At that hour, is the sun just coming up? Like, is
It's
it?
just coming up.
It's just coming up.
Yeah.
There's like,
It's still kind of dark.
it's
but
still kind of dark, but there's like, you know, the light.
Yeah, and it takes about from the AMPM if she was at Avocado Lake. So like for us, we're like, okay, well, she was out there at 4:06, and then the call came at 5 something. There's a whole hour there. Like what happened in that hour? Like there's something happened. She stopped somewhere. She went somewhere. So we have done all the coordinates. We started mapping. We did the timing. So it takes about almost 45 minutes to an hour to get to Avocado Lake from AMPM.
Oh, so she's saying it takes 45 minutes to an hour. See, I looked at the map. It said 35 minutes, but I guess 35 minutes, 45 minutes. I don't think it takes an hour, but maybe 45 minutes. Thank you, Lily, for that. You are number 2 in our super sticker train on our goal to get to 30. Appreciate you hopping aboard. I don't understand how weed laws work. You guys are going to have to enlighten me. Some of you who in the chat seem to know quite a bit about it. In Nashville, they started a restaurant called, I don't know what it's called, Cannabis and something. And it's like a restaurant where they have weed in like the food, like in the ketchup and in like, I don't know, everything has marijuana in it. And weed is not legal in this state. In Nashville, where I live, weed is not legal. like in any, I don't even, it might be medically legal, but I don't even know if it is. I don't even think it's medically legal. I think it's like totally illegal. Yet there's a restaurant that has it on their menu. You go there. I've never been, but you go there, everything has weed in it. And it's not CBD, it's actually THC. So you all guys will have to tell me how that's even possible.
So, you know, we timed it and try to like see the routes, how we would possibly go. We stopped at people's houses. Do you have cameras? Everybody, you know, if you can let us know your cameras to see at your homes, you know, just to take the time to look. We're more than willing to go put the time in to look at your cameras if you're too busy, you know, so.
So no other financial transactions on her card?
That we know. They told us no. They said that that was the last purchase that she made there. She didn't have credit cards. She didn't like to, you know, she's really good with her money. She was like, I ain't paying for that. Like, I'm keeping my money.
So did she carry large amounts of cash or?
No, she kept everything on her card.
Yeah, that's why we know, like, hasn't used any of her money. She has all this money in the bank, and it's just nothing. I don't know.
The restaurant, I just looked it up, is called Buds and Brews. Nashville's opening its first restaurant this spring. It's already open now, so this old article. Buds and Brews. The menu at Buds and Brews will pair elevated American dishes with legal THC-infused condiments from craft cannabis. The 21 and older restaurant is led by Chef Sam McGee. Of note, the dishes here won't be infused with THC, just the sauces, which will come with dosing spoons. Buds and Brews also plans to sell edible dessert options plus drinks infused with THC. All items sold will be only allowed for the restaurant consumption and not sold for outside use. Craft Cannabis has 9 locations. So that's it, guys. It's in the sauce. THC in the sauce. I think they said every serving of ketchup or whatever has 5 milligrams of THC, which seems like a lot to me if you're eating a lot of ketchup. Hey, Naomi, thank you so much for that. You're number 3 on our super sticker train on our route to get to 30. Hey, we're 10% of the way there. Thank you, guys. But even in a state that's illegal, I don't understand how they can have it in their ketchup and whatever barbecue sauce and whatever other sauce they have.
Know if they have information, and they're probably not, you know, we don't know because, you know, disclosing, they don't want to like hinder their operation, but we understand that we're a huge family and we have so many people willing to help that they know that if they tell us something, we're gonna go in a mass number to go search or what. So they've really been, you know, but which we have, but because she's ours, you know, she's our priority, you know. I mean, we appreciate everybody and everything, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, we don't still have her home, you know. We still have that void, and we're still looking, and we're going to continue to look until she comes home.
She's our baby. She's our baby girl. So we gotta find her. We gotta bring her home.
Yeah. Was there at any time any type of drugs related in her life, or was there anybody in her circle that was involved with drugs, or
drinking and just like drinking?
Just normal drinking, party.
Not like any
social
hardcore drugs that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And where did you guys work?
And at Custom Produce in Pearler.
Okay.
So my sister-in-law, my other sister-in-law, runs that whole packing house, and that's the daughter.
Produce packing house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's the manager there, and then this is my niece, and then that's where Jalissa worked.
So who initially reported her missing?
Grandma, right?
Grandma.
How did that happen? Like, it was like, all right, we have to do this.
Grandma went to church and then texted her, and then she didn't respond. Grandma goes to church, comes back out, and sends her another text message. She doesn't respond. She knew something was wrong.
I wish I knew which church they went to.
And she said, you know, and we always have a family joke, like, if she doesn't answer, then she was like, hey, you need to get a hold of Jalissa, or like, you know what I mean? Like, or any of the kids, like, if you don't call within 8 hours, we're on you, like, hey, where are you at? And so when she didn't text her, respond back, my mom texted her, hey, you know, you don't text me right now or call me, I'm calling the FBI. Like we play, we say that to each other. And then boom, she's like, okay, I'm here, you know, I'm here. I mean, you know, I fell asleep or whatever, but never a whole day, like never more than like 8 hours. She's always checking in. So we knew instantly like something was wrong. Like we were on it. We like, this is out of her character.
And were you there when that happened?
No. I live in Fresno. I live in Fresno. Grandma called me like a couple hours later and she's like, hey, this is what's going on. And we zoomed over here.
So as a mom, you know, when was that moment? Like you knew like something wasn't right. Was it when Grandma called?
When Grandma called and she said she hasn't answered. Jalissa's not answering. Jalissa hasn't came home. So right then and there, I knew there was something wrong.
Completely out of character.
Completely out of character. Like she would have called Grandma. She would have texted Grandma back.
Thank you, Amanda, for that. I really appreciate it. I hope to be in contact with them. I'd love to have them on the show.
She would have called her brothers and sister and she wasn't. So we all knew there was something wrong here.
Did the grandma say when she tried calling or when you guys tried to call, they go straight to voicemail?
I still try to call. Like I call her every day and I tell her like, hey, we're gonna find you wherever you're at. Like you just don't give up hope. Like we're coming for you, Jalissa. Like if you do have your phone and it turns on for some reason, like we're blowing her up. You know, like every day I text her every day. Like I love you. We're coming for you. Don't lose hope because we have faith. You were raised in church. You raised, you know, to know the Lord. You have to have faith. We're coming for you. We're going to find you. You know?
It's so heartbreaking, right? My goodness.
No.
Did Jalissa have any type of physical or health problems?
No.
None. So she didn't take medication for anything?
No.
She's completely healthy, young, bright, beautiful, energetic.
Yeah, silly, super silly.
The year, make, and model of her vehicle?
It's a Hyundai Accent, 2011, silver.
4 doors, correct? 4 doors?
The back windows are tinted.
Back windows are tinted?
These are a little bit bubbly, like, yeah. They're
Okay, so it's an older tint on the car.
The license plates is AMPU 766. It's engraved in our brain.
It is.
What tips have come in?
Hundreds and hundreds of my phones blowing up. Like, okay, we've seen this car over here on this area. Traver, Kingsburg,
Hanford.
Cutler. Okay, who's closer to here? One of us go over there. It's not the car. We've seen this, you know, this vehicle over here, and then who's closer by there? There we go. So, and so I was like, okay, like if you guys could take a picture, like if you see or you're suspecting, take a picture of the license, send it to me, so then, you know, we won't go an hour away. And it, you know, we even went to like these mountains in Cutler, Norosi. Some lady was like, no, I seen some guy standing here. That was the vehicle. So there goes me and my husband. He had to climb a big old hill and there was nothing there. But we got to check them all out.
Right,
Because
you gotta go to all of them because you never know if it's
Absolutely.
that one, you know?
So at the time, Jalissa was staying with Grandma?
Yes.
Yeah, Jalissa lives
she's
with grandma.
Yeah,
Jalissa
yeah.
lives with grandma.
Yeah.
And what about her room? Is there any clothes missing?
No,
Is there any signs of anything?
Nothing.
Everything, the
She-
bed's made, everything.
Nothing alarming whatsoever.
Nothing. It's still all her Amazon bags and all her ordering, you know.
And her bed's made, like everything.
She was gonna come, like her intent was to come home. Like she called her brother and he was out in Fresno and he was gonna come home and said that they were gonna meet up, like, you know.
She goes, I'll go to the store, be right back.
I'll go to the store. And
Did she have anything planned over the next few days? Any type
no,
of event,
because
just to work?
Sunday, she usually just relaxes because she works Monday, so.
Everything I'm getting is, this is completely uncharacteristic.
Very.
100%.
100%.
Not like her. Not even an inkling of like.
Not even an
yes,
inkling.
yes.
100% no doubt.
This is very, you know, this is alarming. You know, we're not talking about someone who, you know, was familiar with, you know, the streets and the life of the streets and, you know, shady characters. And
that's why we knew since day one that there was something wrong, because this is not her. Like, not even a little bit.
Tell me more about the cell phone information.
Well, they haven't released anything to us at all.
Not a time. They didn't give a time on that pin.
What about?
No,
what
they said
about?
early morning,
Okay,
Sunday.
so tell
Well,
me.
they said 5:30 to 8, remember? 5:30 to 8.
The Acres?
The avocado, like the ping, I think it was between 5:30 and 8 or something like that. But that they didn't tell us like more. They said a 15-mile
Yeah, I've spoken with Fresno County Sheriff.
So whatever they shared with you, that's what they've only shared with you.
Yeah, I've spoken with the sheriff off the record. I mean, I can't tell you what she told me, but I can tell you that what they have was just very vague, which was just an area, and that the cell phone tower in that region is not accurate like it would be in, say, the city of Fresno or Selma, where they can really get a good grip of it. So to kind of see what they know, let's talk about what they did. Like, where did they go first to search?
We don't know. When we were out there searching, we didn't see one cop out there searching with us at all. It was just us. For the whole week. For the whole week. It was us and our family and our like complete strangers that were coming and searching with us. We didn't see, we were even giving out flyers to, like, if we would see like a sheriff out there in the country, we would stop by and we'd give them a thing. They didn't even know. They didn't even know. We'd give them a flyer. And because me and my husband, we stopped with the sheriffs, we stopped with highway patrols. Like any time that we seen like any police enforcement out there, we're handing them flyers. They didn't even know. Even though we made it clear to them that this was urgent, that this is unlikely, like her, she would not do this. And we started immediately posting, and then it just, like we got, because we know a lot of people, just trickled down.
That night, we were already.
But we knew since day one. I don't know if they took it but to me, it seems like they didn't take it as urgent as we did.
Because I mean, we understand.
We
understand. We understand. There's so many people just.
And they don't know.
Don't come home. They might want to just go out. They're like, she's a typical 22-year-old. Kids go out. I mean, heck, I can say when I was young like that, I would go out and sometimes not come home. But Jolissa wasn't like that. She made it clear to let people know that where she was at. Sky and her brother and sister, they were best friends, and they always communicated with each other. And so for her not to come home, it was just, we knew. And so the search, we had people that reached out to us, we had family friends that had helicopters, and they're like, we're out there, we want to help. Family friends that had just even the public, we have drones. They've been pushing. PD said that they went out there and did drones and they flew. That we know, they never told us, and so we don't really know if they told the media. Then they told media, but to tell us directly, no, we don't know what
So
has been done.
no official search parties that you know of have been organized from them.
In the city, no, I don't.
Not.
Yeah, unless
Absolutely not. Not here.
not here. Yeah,
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, and speaking with the lieutenant from Fresno County Sheriff, I know that they told me that they've done a lot of searching up in the hills. I think she described over 700 miles of back road driving, and by her sheriffs.
I did bump into one of them, because
Probably in the
we
hills,
found
and probably
yeah.
a week after that we had been searching, us unknown to us, but that we knew of when we were out here in the country. There was nobody out there but us.
See, I hate that they wasted so much energy and they weren't told, hey, we don't think she's there, and here's why. At least they searched it. Maybe that, they're wanting to search everything anyways. But those first days are so important. The earliest, 72 hours, 48 hours are so important in these cases. So this thing on my hat is distracting me. What was that? Anyways, yeah. They spent, a whole week or whatever searching in an area, and law enforcement's like, yeah, we're pretty sure she's not there.
So no tips that were credible or have led to anything, no theories that, this might have happened or this argument may have happened, or nothing like that whatsoever.
Well, with Julie, she did get in an argument that morning.
Yeah, she got in an argument with her at the family gathering. It was her best friend's family gathering. She got in an argument with her friend that was there.
But that's not.
No, it wasn't a physical fight or anything. It was just a little argument.
It's just a normal
friend argument.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So guys, don't get that twisted.
Yeah.
Is it something I don't know? But if it's not alarming to you guys or
No,
the family,
not.
then
No,
it's just something
they
normal
pulled
that
her
happened.
in for questioning. They did all that.
And so did
we.
And we did too. We went over there.
In a mass number, we interrogated her.
Well, anything, any little tip that we got, we go out there, and we investigate,
anything.
anything.
If something has happened to her, Like, what do you guys want people to know? I mean, what like at this moment, if that's the case, somebody knows something, and they need to come forward, So if there's anything that you want to say to those people, or to the people that may know those people that may know something.
This is heartbreaking.
Come forth. If you guys know anything, please let us know where Jalissa is. We love her, we miss her, and we need her. We want her home. So if you know anything and anything that'll lead us to her, please let us know.
Or if you, the ones that have her, like, she's ours. Like, please let her go. That's our family is not complete without her, and you have that power to let her go. That you just find it in your hearts to just to let her go. I mean, we don't want nothing from you. If you want the reward, we just want her. Like, just let her go. We won't drop her off somewhere, or we won't say anything to anybody. We can just be complete. But we're just asking, please, like, just bring her home. Let her go if you have her, because this is just, you have family. What if this was your family and someone did this to you? Like, just let her go.
If Jalissa is here and, she is underwater, I promise you I will find her. I promise you that. We will find her. That 100% we will find her. But like I said, I don't want that. Our hope is she's still out there and she's gonna be found.
She's alive.
She's alive. She's a fighter too. Like,
you guys are fighters, and anybody out there that knows, you guys should be very extremely nervous, because this family is not going to stop.
Oh no, we're not gonna stop ever. We're bringing her home.
Yeah. We are not going to stop. This is far from what you expected, and this is this is going to be a.
Guys, I just don't. It just had like a little moment over here. I don't understand how this is the world that we're living in. Like, it just doesn't make sense that we're living in a world where, like, people in America can just be captured, and, like, without a trace, we can't find them. I don't understand. That they're sitting at this table having a conversation about a young lady that we saw in a video just go to a gas station and then she just disappeared. Her vehicle disappears. She disappears. I don't understand how we live in a culture where that can happen. We've got to help find her, guys. Like, it's like, I think collectively we can really get down to the bottom of it. Now, I wanted to share with you, this is Adventures with Purpose. You guys can go watch this full video over on their channel, but this is when they searched the lakes and didn't find her, and then they share the information with the family.
For this to happen, I don't know if you can see this corner that I'm just around.
I'm right down below the canyon. I can see you.
Hang on, let me try it one more time. Turn that off until I hear a vehicle.
I don't know. I wish there was a way we could test that battery.
I don't even know where the battery is on this thing.
Hey, Nick. Some supporters of ours are helping us out. They loaded the boat in the truck. They're bringing us up there right now. We are on the way.
It started and ran enough for me to get it down the hill to a safer pullout spot, and then it died again.
And I can see you. These things are expected. We're out here traveling across the country. We're out here navigating the waters. These are things that, in the grand scheme of things, it's expected. Where there's problems, there's solutions. We're gonna get through it. We made it all the way to the end where there's no more water left. So we actually ran our boat aground. The areas we were concerned about water within her cell phone data transmission, Avocado Lake and Pine Flat. Winton Park we ruled out. It's just Kings River just too shallow throughout there. And really the whole way through it's too shallow. The dam itself is only a few feet deep. When we get away from here, of course, there's so many more places that you could go and search in water, but it doesn't fit with her cell phone data, you know? It doesn't fit with some of the theories that are out there, some of the rumors, you know? Is the rumor true that she is spotted in a car screaming? We don't know. If it is, somebody needs to say something, you know? And that's what I want this to be. And I want this to be a voice for you and your family and for Jalissa, and a very, very strong urge to whoever knows something to come forward, you know, because somebody knows something. A 22-year-old, beautiful, responsible young lady does not disappear with her car without a trace, with the kind of effort that's been put in on this, just for nothing. Like, there's somebody that knows something. The effort that you guys are putting in, don't stop. Don't, like you told me.
Use our catchphrase, guys. Don't stop. It's the name of the book that I wrote. I know a lot of you have not read this book. I would love for you to get it on talkphoto.com if you're interested, or on Amazon.
Somebody that knows something. The effort that you guys are putting in, don't stop. Don't, like you told me on day one, like, you know, Jalissa wouldn't stop fighting. You guys don't stop fighting. We're going to continue to post about her. Make sure that we get flyers, because we're going to be traveling back up to Oregon. We'll post her flyers everywhere we go. And, you know, the biggest part of this is someone knows something. Someone knows something. And that's critical. I mean, you have an entire family, a community here grieving. You need to come forward. Whether you know something or whether you know somebody that knows something, you need to come forward. You have the Selma PD as well as Fresno County Sheriff's Department, or you can reach out to us anonymously. Let us know something. Like, there's no shortage of flyers. Look, you need to do the right thing and help this community, help this family find their missing loved one. Jalissa is out there, and whoever did something is responsible, knows something.
We know you guys do such great work, and we're so thankful, you know. I mean, this is just a relief for us, because even though we knew in our heart of hearts and our faith that she wasn't out there, this gives us peace. We don't care, you know, we won't say anything. We just want her, like,
yeah,
leave her somewhere, drop her off somewhere, and we'll go pick her up. Like, there's no questions asked. We just want her back, you know. That's something that you have to deal with your conscience for the rest of your life, and stay hidden as long as you want, but it is going to come out eventually. So we have our faith and know, and we're so grateful.
I'm sorry for what you guys are going to continue to go through, but don't lose your faith. Really, that's what's going to. Yeah, absolutely. Don't lose your faith, and don't stop fighting. You know.
Thank you so much.
We'll open up the phone lines for just a minute. If anybody wants to call in, make sure you have YouTube muted in the background. We have a 3-minute timer. When that timer goes off, your time is up. And honestly, if you guys are not wanting to call in, that's okay too. But if you want to call in, share your thoughts about either Jolissa or Kiely Rodni, now's your time. We haven't opened up phone lines in a couple of days. So I pinned the link in the chat. All you got to do is click on it. Ooh. Guys, I mail Don't Stop books all the time. I give away books all the time. The other night, I gave away 5 Don't Stop books on our 50,000 subscriber celebration call. As a way to celebrate, I said I'll give away 5 of these books. So I went to the post office today to drop off a coffee order and to mail those books. The lady, you do media mail. It's like the cheapest way to mail those books, you can do media mail. The lady just snapped on me when I went to and I go to the post office like almost every day. Like I'm at the post office all the time, just like, taking care of business, running errands, things like that. The lady snapped on me today. She said, I put the labels on sideways and that she couldn't let me do media mail. She's going to have to charge me for a package. And she yelled at me and she's like, I don't care how you're used to doing it. That's not the way we're doing it now. And I'm like, I'm not spending more, $10 per book to mail them when I can spend $3.50. Yeah, she just really yelled at me. And then I was having to mail a piece of paper, a single piece of paper. And I said, can I buy an envelope? That cost 76 cents. She refused to let me buy an envelope for 76 cents to mail a piece of paper. She said the only way I can mail the paper is if I spent $9 on one of those priority mail pieces of paper. And at this point, she had already yelled at me like 5 times, and I needed to mail this piece of paper really bad, but wasn't like the most urgent thing in my life. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So I don't know what she was doing. And then I went to Kroger earlier. I just bought a bottle of water. That's it. This is what I bought. 2 bottles of water, just like this. This is literally what I bought. Some guy in a wheelchair drove by me and started calling me names. I'm like, what the heck did I do today? Everybody, the post office people are yelling at me. Guy in the wheelchair is calling me all kinds of names for buying water. Like, my goodness, it's just one of those days. You guys ever have those days where you like look at the world around you and you're like, what the heck am I doing? And I still have no idea why that post office lady was so mad at me and how I put the label on. And I literally go in the post office all the time. I'm like, ma'am, I'm in here all the time. Like I do the labels the same way every time. This guy who usually I give the orders to, he was like, no, that's fine. He can do it that way. That's fine. This happened on coffee orders a while back too. Like they got mad at me about the way I was doing coffee orders when people order our coffee, and they had like 20 of our orders just held back there and they weren't telling me. And so if you guys got your coffee late, that's not my fault. It's like I had mailed like seriously about 20 orders of coffee and they were refusing to send them and they didn't tell me until like 1 week later or more. And then finally they left me a note on a piece of yellow paper that said I needed to come and talk to the lady about it. And I went to talk to the lady and she wasn't there. And then this other guy's like, that's because you didn't label them correctly. I'm like, I've been mailing stuff for a year now. I've never had a problem. So anyways, we do have great coffee, vanilla bean and chocolate covered cherry. I've got the coffee thing figured out. I should have the book thing figured out. I don't know why the lady yelled at me. I'm like, when you don't feel well already and then like people just yell at you for no reason, it just makes you feel even less well. That was my day today. It happened like literally all day. Those are 2 examples of about 10. So I literally felt like is like Holy Spirit anointing on me, like rubbing people the wrong way or something, because I'm not doing anything that should cause people to be angry towards me. Laura, thank you for your super chat. You're number 4 on our 30. You're our 4th super chat in the past 34 minutes in our attempt to get to 30. It didn't happen. It hasn't happened unless we get a bunch all of a sudden. But thank you for your super chat. You said all the missing need to be brought home. Race shouldn't matter. Old, young, brown, white. They are precious in his sight. Bring them home. I agree. But tell me why, several hundred people clicked off this video when we started talking about Jolissa. Thank you for your super chat. Hey, Heidi, how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to comment on the post office. I've seen somebody, I was at the post office mailing some packages, and this guy comes in with a ball. And I'm like, what? I said, is he going to mail that ball? And they helped him put the label on and everything to mail this ball. And he says, you'd be surprised the things people bring into the post office to mail.
Like a basketball, or what was it?
It was like a kid's ball. It was weird. I'm like, why don't you just call it Amazon? But anyways, yeah, that's too bad that you had that experience. But sometimes post offices have workers that can be so rude and so rigid. And then you go to another one, like the one I'm at. Oh yeah, people bring the oddest things to mail. So
See, there was a guy who was working at this post office, and he was like literally the nicest guy and was always helpful and taught me how to like mail all the stuff I mail the cheapest way and all this, was really great. And the post office in Illinois where I lived at, I mean, like that post office, I could never even imagine a better post office in my entire life. That post office is amazing. But this guy that was helping me at this post office started selling stuff on Amazon, so he quit working there. And then these people that left there, it's like, I don't know what they do, but they kindness is not a value to them.
No, there's still customer service as much as we need them. There's still customer service. I was just going to say, I think it's great that we're covering this case. It's kind of hard to go off the the beaten path of Kiely because it's, all of the drama around it and the case, but it's going to a new case. I think it's really, really good to cover this, and hopefully, don't get too discouraged by the numbers. It seems like the numbers are really low, but they're still pretty good compared to a lot of other people's streams. So I think it's great that we're covering this.
Well, it's not, I don't care as much about the numbers. I just like, in comparison to when we were talking about Kiely, it's like, it's literally, there's a problem in society, that's what I'm really pointing at.
Yeah, it's like keep going on and on about the same things over and over, and it's like you want to keep talking about it, but yet we're not getting anywhere. But it's talking about this, it feels good, like we're actually putting it out there a little bit, and so I appreciate it. And just wanted to say about her going out out of that door at the gas station, she almost looks like she's looking to the left, like somebody's saying something to her, and then she goes towards the right, because as she leaves, it looks like she's going to turn left, but she turns right. And then I was just wondering who, if somebody in that other car or if somebody was saying something to her, but she almost looks a little irritated the way she's opening that door. Uh-oh.
Could be. There's the timer. Thanks for calling in. Have a great day.
Yeah, I appreciate you covering this case. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Patricia.
Hi, Tyler. Now, I'm just going to try and first start out by encouraging you. There's 50,000 subscribers that love you. And when you have a bad day where people seem to misunderstand or are short with you, just remember that over 50,000 subscribers love you. And more importantly, the Lord loves you.
I agree.
I was looking at that video that you had of her in the store, and I was looking as you were playing it slow motion. I think it was about at the 40-minute in your live stream tonight. And I was looking at the guy's left hand, the one that walked out the door as Jolissa was at the counter. It looked like he may have had a phone in his hand. I looked at it was the left hand, and I looked at the angle that he was kind of holding it. It looked like he was aiming it toward Jolissa, and that, was he taking a picture of her and why? I don't know. But then as she walks out the door, that guy went to the left out the door. I don't know where her car was parked. They didn't say if it was to the right or the left as she exited the door, but did that guy that went out the door first say something to her? Maybe she was opening her car door to look aggressive,
She
That's
goes
another.
left. Look. Nope. She goes right. No, she goes right.
Yeah, she looks to the left when she goes out the door. And the guy who went out the door ahead of her went kind of straight ahead out and then to the left. She went to the right. That was one thing that I noticed. I wondered if he was there, did he take her picture? It looked like he had maybe a phone in his hand, angled it to where he could take a picture of her at the counter. That was something that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Possibility. Also, I just wanted to make mention that although California does have citizens legally can buy marijuana, it may be that she has a job where it's federally, you still are not allowed to do that. And if she is at a job where they say that you're not allowed to smoke marijuana while you're employed with us, she would not be able to go and...
She works like with her family. I don't think so.
Okay, so that wouldn't be an issue. But if she didn't want it on record, I don't know if she didn't want to be seen going into a pot shop or something. Maybe it's just a possibility. Also, if you have to carry cash to buy marijuana, which Washington State requires, they're trying to change it. Just a thought.
That's the timer.
Okay, well, good talking to you. We're praying for you. We're believing that you're going to do well, even better, Tyler. So hang in there.
Thanks,
All right,
Patricia.
bye-bye.
Have a great day. Some of you guys weren't on here earlier. I want to share with you. I know a lot of you guys know this, but each month, a percentage of what we have goes into what we call benevolence fund. We use that money to help different causes. And so when you guys give super chat, super stickers, things like that, it all goes into this fund, and it includes, when you guys are giving on Cash App and PayPal and Venmo and all that. And so just want to say thank you for your support. But here's an update of what our benevolence fund went to. We don't like saying the names because we want to protect people. We don't want to just put their business out there. But this month we supported a medical mission trip in a third world country. We partnered actually with the local tribe and the tribe leaders, and they went and did a medical mission trip to a whole nother tribe that never experienced anything like it. And those people were totally moved. In fact, when they sent us back the testimony, someone on the benevolence committee said we were all in tears when we read how our resources help them. And so just know that we made it's just literally a significant difference that we made in this country. And so thank you guys for your support. We also purchased life-saving drugs. I don't want to say what those drugs, I don't want to get into the details of them, but it's literally like if this person did not have this medicine, they would die. And it was at the last minute. They had gotten in a situation because of how they got sick for 2 weeks, they couldn't work. And so we were able to help them get those drugs. We also paid a portion of somebody's rent. They were down to the wire on that. We were able to come in through the grace of God and help them. We also bought gas and paid bills for somebody who's in a really, really, really tough situation that needs a lot of prayer. So maybe you guys can also be praying for these people. We also provided dozens of counseling sessions, totally free of charge. And so that costs us several $100s a week to be able to do that. We also sewed $1,000 into 2 different ministry partners, 500 into one and 500 into another. And we do that every single month. These are people who are making a difference locally, one locally in their environment, one has a global impact that is even in this week in Brazil, touching tens of thousands of lives in Brazil with those resources. And so I just want to thank you guys for supporting what we do each month and just encourage you to get behind what we're doing. So I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for your support. We'll be back tomorrow. I want to pray for you and just say thank you for getting behind this channel and what we're doing. So Father, in the name of Jesus, I bless every single person on the stream. And Lord, I, in the name of Jesus, just declare that the best days are ahead of the people in front of them, not behind them. And I just speak to every single attack of the enemy over my life and other people's lives to even just think that our best days are behind us. That's not the way you work. You have plans to prosper us, not to harm us, for a hope and a future. And so I just speak that over every single person watching today. I speak your hope and your future, and I bless them in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for being with us. In Jesus' name, amen. Again, guys, if you want to support, PayPal Tyler Feller, Cash App $ Tyler Feller 22, Venmo at Tyler-Feller. And what else is there to say? Oh, we have coffee. If you guys are interested in that, great coffee. We have Dove merchandise that's available only for a couple more days on tylerfeller.com/merch. And we have the Don't Stop book. If you don't have this book, you really need it. You really need it. It's a way you can support our ministry too, by picking up this book on tylerfeller.com. Just click on Don't Stop book. I also been working on another painting. I'll just give you guys a quick glimpse of that. That's all you're going to see. Quick glimpse. That's it. I'll zoom in on one little part of it. It has a tree on it. So I'm expanding my painting. Expanding my painting. Being a little more adventurous with it. Still learning. All right, guys. We'll see you soon. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.